Can rest easy tonight because our families are validated.
The bill the president is about to sign gives protection to same-sex unions under federal law, though it stops short of requiring states to allow gay marriage. A winter storm on track to affect some 2/3 of the country by the time it's finally done has a wide area under blizzard warnings from Montana into western Nebraska and Colorado. As parts of the plains assess damage, a tornado hitting the Oklahoma town of Wayne early today. No injuries or deaths reported. America's listening to Fox News.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,100 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 671-475-4545, Upper Tumon 671-647-5626, or in Dededo 671-633-4473.
What's for breakfast at KFC under $3.95, you ask? What's for breakfast at KFC that's different than the other guys, you ask? KFC's chicken wrap, sausage wrap, the Colonel's chicken congee, chicken fried steak, sausage biscuit and gravy, and biscuit sandwiches made with KFC's original fluffy biscuits. All for under $3.95 and all only at KFC. Plus, with waffles and the Colonel's chicken fried rice, we've got something for everyone.
So visit KFC for breakfast today. It's finger-licking good.
The governor of Florida says possible wrongdoing related to COVID vaccines should be investigated, including whether vaccine data was manipulated. And he plans to petition the state Supreme Court.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis wants a state grand jury to find out if dissenting opinions on COVID-19 mRNA vaccines like Pfizer and Moderna's were suppressed in order to push them on people, even if they were unwanted or risky to their health.
We also need ways to get more data so that we can better evaluate what actually happened. And the fact of the matter is we lack comprehensive patient-level data.
DeSantis also cites revelations that Twitter was actively suppressing opinions the vaccines were not as safe as federal officials insisted.
Fox's Evan Brown. Both the Trump and Biden administrations have supported the COVID shots, reassuring the public that fast-track production after emergency authorization was based on years of research. The remains of an American soldier killed in World War II are identified.
Staff Sergeant Michael Uren from Metuchen, New Jersey, was in a B-17F Flying Fortress bomber shot down over Germany on October 14, 1943. One of 60 planes lost during that mission. He was a radio operator in what was then the Army Air Force. Survivors said he was killed before the plane crashed, but there was no record of his body being found or a burial location. Turns out his remains were at an American cemetery in Belgium, disinterred last year and identified this past May. His family just recently got a full briefing on the case, and they plan to have a burial in Metuchen at some point. Uren's name is on a wall of the missing in an American cemetery in the United Kingdom. An ornament next to his name will now indicate that he's been accounted for. Chris Foster, Fox News.
Cooler inflation in the latest reading on consumer prices, and that rallied stocks, though they have since been fluctuating. An hour to the close, the Dow is down 38 points. The S&P and the NASDAQ still higher. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Come try Guam's original Chamorro restaurant with Pica's best 5 years running. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus to naktak, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet hamburgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's half-a-day service at their Hagåtña and Grand Plaza Tumon location. Call their Hagåtña location at 479-2652 for reservations.
Wow, nice smile. So perfect and all.
Thanks. I owe it all to Dr. Robert Yang and his smile team. They do wonders for a healthy, happy mouth.
Got teeth? Don't wait until they hurt. Schedule your routine checkup and cleaning with Dr. Yang and his smile team. Suite 119 in the East West Business Center, Upper Tumon. Call 647-8702 or 3.
The best thing that happened to teeth since toothpaste.
Dr. Yang and his smile team.
They make smiles happen.
Hafaday, this is Severina. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. It's 6:06 on Wednesday, December 14. I'm Donna De Jesus with a look at your local news on The Point. 21-year-old Ryan J. Cruz has been charged in 2 game room robberies, including one where the weapon used was a piece of a picture frame. Police were called to the Speed game room on November 28, where an employee reported a player took $1,300 from the register. On December 8, police were called to the Winster 2 game room, where an employee said a customer hit him in the face and took a bag of cash. On Monday, police were at a different game room when they saw a man who matched the description of the suspect. Cruz said that he and a friend used an L-shaped picture frame painted black to look like a gun to point it at the cashier at the Speed game room. At Winster 2, Cruz told police that he used an airsoft gun, which was found in the car from the parking lot of the 3rd game room. Cruz was charged with 2 counts of robbery and 1 count of theft. Meanwhile, Ocean View Middle School students will have to finish the rest of the school year in their D-rated campus after GDOE officials decided to delay the proposed relocation to Southern High School until after the summer break. The original plan was to relocate the 400 middle school students and staff to a wing at Southern after Christmas break. 3 inspections of Ocean View since September have all resulted in a D sanitation rating from Public Health. Although a D rating is bad enough to immediately shut down the school, Guam law gives failing schools a grace period until June 11, 2024 to correct deficiencies, and only imminent safety threats must be immediately corrected. The most recent inspection on November 10 found some past violations corrected, but also found new violations, still resulting in a D rating. We'll have more news after this.
Santa's coming and things are looking up. Bank Pacific has rolled out Rudolph's favorite My Christmas loan with an annual percentage interest rate as low as 5.99% and up to $50,000. And with the Bank Pacific contactless Visa debit card, you can have the flexibility of using your money when you want to, where you want to. My Christmas loan, contactless Visa debit card. Let's make Christmas merrier. Member FDIC, equal opportunity lender. Credit conditions apply. Merry Christmas from Bank Pacific.
Senator Jim Moylan will be sworn in as Guam's next congressman in a few weeks, and he says a lack of awareness about Guam is the reason the island is sometimes omitted or restricted from federal programs such as supplemental security income. At a Rotary Club of Tumon Bay meeting, Moylan said he doesn't think it's discrimination, but a matter of no knowledge about the territories. While his 100-day plan is forthcoming, the first item Moylan wants to address is the issue of SSI benefits, from which residents from Guam, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands are excluded. Congressman Mike San Nicolas had introduced legislation to extend the SSI benefits to Guam, but the bill did not pass. Moylan says he wants to reintroduce that measure and is speaking with senior ranking representatives from the CNMI and AMSAM for their support for a better chance of getting the measure approved. And the USDA and UOG are looking for homeowners to volunteer for a brown tree snake study. Researchers are seeking residential property owners willing to allow access to their yards to place and monitor non-toxic dead mouse baits hung in trees or on other structures. The bait stations will be monitored by infrared time-lapse cameras to record bait encounters by brown tree snakes, pets, wildlife, and people. So far, most control efforts have been limited to military bases, airports, and shipping ports to prevent spread to other islands and for the protection of power infrastructure and native wildlife. USDA scientists have discovered that brown tree snakes are very sensitive to low doses of acetaminophen found in over-the-counter pain relievers. Homeowners interested in assisting in the research can email their name and address or GPS location to btsresearch@triton.uog.edu. And those are your top stories right here on The Point. Now now. Here's Ray with your weather.
I'm just not sure about that. Here's
the weather?
No,
BTS?
no. We'll get the weather in a second. But the idea that they're calling out for people, and I know some of the people behind this, and I absolutely love and support them. It's just that I don't have a snake problem at my house right now. Where I'm staying, I've not seen a brown tree snake there. I've been in the place down for 3-4 years, something like that. I've not yet seen a brown tree snake anywhere near my yard. And I believe that that's because I've got an insane number of feral cats and chickens in the area that would take care of the small ones and keep them away. Certainly haven't seen anything big. And people that already have a snake problem don't want any more bait around the house that's going to be attractive to them. But if that's you, if you're one of those tree snake people, then by all means sign up with this program here. And they got the camera there that's going to be watching out for stuff like that. And the camera will be there when you get the snake off of the fence or off of the tree or whatever, and then cut it into very, very small pieces of snake with your machete or whatever it is that you're using to get these guys with. Is it weather? 6:11. Here it is. Mostly sunny. Ooh, that's nice. Daytime highs today about 87 degrees. East-northeast winds blowing up to about 17 miles an hour, gusting as high as 22. So watch those skirts, guys. Partly cloudy in the forecast tonight. Overnight low should be about 76 degrees. Today with the heat index, it'll feel like 92 degrees. Mostly sunny skies in the forecast tomorrow with daytime highs around 87 degrees. Gusty again, up to about 25 miles an hour. Same thing for tomorrow night. Partly cloudy, overnight low 76, and gusts as high as about 23 miles an hour. Going to see the same thing happening for Friday. I'm loving this weather. Mostly sunny. Highs near 87 degrees on Friday. East-northeast winds to about 21 miles an hour. Gust to 26. Sunrise this morning, not until 6:35. Sunset tonight, not until 5:55. There it is. News and weather together, brought to you by Bank Pacific, banking on the Pacific for 68 years.
Guam Regional Medical City is the center of excellence for general and minimally invasive surgeries like colonoscopy, dialysis and vascular access, gallbladder, skin and soft tissue, gastrointestinal tract, hernia repair, spleen, select liver and pancreas diseases, upper endoscopy, and more. Schedule your appointment with GRMC today by calling 671-633-GRMC. That's 671-633-4762. For more information, visit us at grmc.gu.
Pacific Points is turning 2 years, and we're giving away 2 million points. Imagine what you could do when you win up to 2 years worth of free Shell fuel, Foodies products, or rebates on your IT&E bill. Receive entries into our monthly and grand prize drawings when you sign up for Pacific Points. Earn and redeem points at Shell, Foodies, and IT&E when you refer your friends, and more. Go to PacificPoints.com for details and see more ways to enter. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
The Raymond Gibson Show being brought to you by APL, American President Lines, a global presence with a local home.
The Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Having an ARG moment. It's a weird ARG moment. I don't know what happened. I printed something out in the printer thing this morning, and all of the pages are mixed up, and I can't tell which order they're supposed to go into, and it feels like I'm drunk. You know what I mean? I'm not. I mean, I'm clearly not. Am I slurring? Am I talking funny?
You smell strong though.
You know
from
what
last night.
You know what that is? That's my new soap. This is the Dove. that I've been using lately. It's either that or there's some new FAFSA stuff going around in the bathroom. I'll maybe get up to speed on all of this stuff as the program commences. Welcome to the program. Excuse the mess. It is the Ray Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point. My name is Ray. Thrilled as usual, seriously thrilled as usual to be here with you as we make our way into the day I don't call Hump Day. It's Wednesday because everybody else in the planets go, hey, Hump Day, yeah, whatever. It was funny in like 1975, right? But it's seen its best days, and I just kind of want to push behind it. So if you've got another clever way to say, the middle of the week, like, hey, welcome to the middle of the week. The Tion of the week. Can we do something like that? It's got to get clever and creative. Anyway, there's Real Joe. He gets the phone when you call it. 888-8255-888-TALK is the telephone number. Donna D in the studio here this morning, and we're all excited because later, well, a couple of reasons. Reason number one, it's Big Sister Shelly Gibson's birthday. Yay.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday on you. And then what else? Oh, there was another thing I was going to get real excited about, and I can't remember what it is. It was like right there. Oh, food. That's right. Rudy Rodolfo, the original Burger King, sent me an email yesterday, which was weird because I don't normally get emails from people like
thought
here.
You were in trouble.
Yeah. But I normally get emails. I mean, unless it's like client stuff. Well, I guess this one kind of is. But Rudy sends me an email. He says, "Listen, I heard you talking about that Italian chicken sandwich that we've got, and maybe you'd like to try one at the when's a good time?" And so I said, maybe about 8:30 this morning would be a good time because that's Donna D is still here. She hasn't quite left yet for the day, and I know that she'd love the opportunity to try something like that. If you'd be able to get it at the drive-thru a little bit later on, but that's going to be happening for us, and it's got me just absolutely crazy. You can hear me. I'm drooling. Lawai, as I'm talking right now, it's coming out of my mouth because I was so hungry for all of that. Anyway, Donna D is going to take care of big news and headlines all day long and a bunch of other stuff that we're going to be looking at that hopefully is going to be somewhat interesting to you. I feel a little bit kind of off balance here this morning because normally I come into the studio armed with the Guam Daily Post in one hand and the Pacific Daily News in the other one.
Oh, yeah. I saw it today.
You did?
No, it didn't come out.
See what I mean?
Just kidding, man.
No, I was almost there. It's like, this is maybe they've solved the problem. I don't know. Don't you just hate it when the printer at work doesn't work? Right? It's the same thing with these guys, but it prevents them from sending out, 1,000 copies of the newspaper out to the community. Didn't have it at the gas station today, yesterday, or the day before, and that means that I've got to rely on Donna D to take a look at the online version of it to see if there's anything in there interesting. Yesterday, the mega interesting eye magnet in the digital version of the PDN was the story about the figgy pudding spam. Do we have a comparable story that you've been able to find yet on all of that? Is there something?
I haven't looked through that part of the paper yet.
Yeah. And just if you're like one of the editors of the newspaper, the new kind of there's a new advice column that is on. It's no good. I keep trying to love it, but it doesn't work for me. So whatever, if there's another one that you can get, and I know, because we provide content here at the station, and we used to have guys like Rush Limbaugh and Jim Bohannon. Both of them are dead, and we're struggling to find suitable replacements for these just incredible anchors in the talk radio business. It'll be a quest, and it will take some time. So I'll just tell you about that right now. 6:18 in the morning. 888-8255-888-TALK. The meme machine is online, and earlier you might have heard me ask the question rhetorically, who let the dogs out? And the reason why I'm asking that question is because I've got this picture here that's beautiful Sarita Garin sent. Oh, look at the puppies. There's a little
Those are my dogs.
Little conference of...
they don't stay at my house, but I feed them.
The sleeping dogs. I don't know where they are, but it just, was a continued... indication that we've got problems with these dogs, and if you read either of the newspapers or follow up on anything else, we've got problems with stray dogs, and apparently we got problems with stray people. They're just kind of wandering around in the middle of the night up in Dededo, leading to really, really significant and violent random crimes that are taking place up there. More on that a little bit later on. In the meantime, hopefully somebody will come and collect up all of these dogs, and in the very least, take them up to the spay and neuter thing over at Gain, and then re-release them back out into the community. Although I will say, I gotta say, I was driving past Home Depot the other day, and Home Depot, there's a place. I'd probably pick it out if I was walking, but I can't do it while I'm, describe it while I'm driving. But there is a space here opposite of Home Depot where there seems to be this little hole in the boonies. And out of that hole comes all of these dogs. And I think they're the same dogs that live up in Tiedzen in that one area. You remember when we found that
they got territory,
the big posse of dogs?
Expansive.
And I think they can go from the fence back there down the hill over to Home Depot and see if anybody's throwing away any of the
That's actually a
food.
preserve.
It's a preserve.
Yeah, the dog preserve. Right?
So is it only special rod and reel? We can only rod and reel there.
Release.
Certain
Catch
kind
and
of
spay and neuter release.
Gotcha. So it's just kind of crazy. But I was driving down the other day, and it doesn't normally catch my eye. A boony dog looks like, one boony dog looks like the next boony dog and the next one after that and after that. The difference is, the color and whether or not they're low riders. But anyway, so you get, no, you know what I mean? Yeah. This,
Shorty Mignonks.
Tom Poole. Yeah. Tom Poole, the former territorial veteran, suggested that as an evolutionary practice, and it will happen fairly quickly over time, the evolutionary practice is that these dogs will develop into that low rider shape. That's what they will eventually, because they need to get through the boondocks and the Brabble and all of that other stuff. So they're going to evolve themselves into these little low rider, hot doggy, boony dog shapes that I'll say it this way: white people just can't get enough of. You run around over at the beach on these things. There's all these little guys, just outrageously good-looking folks, and they're out there. They got a little leash with it's like kind of a long leash because the boony dogs are way down there near their ankles. But anyway, the point is that I saw this dog that did not look like your traditional boony dog. Actually, had kind of red coloring and a little bit more of a husky appearance, and I thought, I wonder if has got some pedigree dog in it, and maybe it's a puppy that got away somewhere and is now easily the best looking boony dog on Guam. There ought to be contests. The biggest, baddest, buffest, and best looking boony dog deal that we could come up together. I don't know. We'll talk to the pet food companies and see if they want to sponsor something like that. Anyway, 6:22 in the morning. Might be a few other things on the thing. I did want to acknowledge a very close friend, a personal friend of the program. He's been listening to me for forever, decades. His wife's old classmate of mine, and today he posted a new picture of himself on his Facebook profile. From time to time, I will mention him on the radio and talk about how he's looking around for something to growl about. The guy's name is Nick Perlosky. And this is actually a pretty good rendition of what Nick Perlosky looks like.
I love his disposition. Right?
If Nick was going to go and buy one of those AI, art packs, those profile packs like I got earlier, the Lensa.
Yeah.
This would be the Lensa. This would be the thing coming out of the Lensa for Nick Perlosky. Outstanding job. It's the grouchy guy from the ventriloquist show. Anyway, 6:23 in the morning. Lots and lots to get to, but in the meantime, I like to say good morning to all of these non-grouchy people.
Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. You wanna go where people know people are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Yep, I have seen it, and we'll see if we can get some other information about what's going to be taking place. Expect lane closures and traffic delays. You've seen that the ad that's been popping up in places.
I have.
Colin Clark sent me it this morning, and a reminder that there are going to be activities that are going to start taking place again this coming week, Friday the 16th. Through the 23rd, they will be doing work at the ITC intersection and San Vitores Road, which is just past Nissan, in order to, I guess, alleviate all of the obstructions for those, hundreds and hundreds of tons worth of power plant that they're going to be moving up to the place. So work over the weekend over at the ITC intersection and San Vitores Road. Wow. Daytime work on the weekends at Christmas time. Oh, this is going to be fun to watch. And then the following, not the following weekend, maybe next week, closer, right after Christmas, they'll be doing work at DPW intersection. Hey, Hey, I know where that is. That's right over there.
Oh, nice.
That's the light I don't stop at. You might as well go ahead and take it out while you're doing all of the other work that you're doing. And Two Lovers Point entrance near the Jack in the Box is going to be getting some work over the New Year's weekend as well. So I think it's going to be kind of an exciting time. I'm wondering, all of the things that they're going to be taking out and trimming and cutting down, and how much of that is going to go back versus, because you've got to admit, I mean, there's intersections and things like that where you go, okay, we don't really need a median here. The only reason why there's a median apparently is to give the bums something to walk on as they're collecting money out there. I'm sorry, did I say bums?
Yeah, come on, man. I only walk on that once in a while.
Vagrants. Can we use that one? No? Sorry. What? That's what he would call it. That's what this guy would call it. The bums and vagrants. There we go. All right. At number one, let me see. He's regained his position as the number one guy on the Facebook Live. That's Isma Velez. Congratulations.
Oh, good morning, Chief.
Yesterday's winner was Juanita Machi. She comes in number two today, followed by M.T. Farron, Bill Petit, Buenas Navade to Felix Bumba. Pretty Sarita Garin is there. Rico Blancaflor, Post Canteen. And is today the last day to put your money in for the end of the month barbecue your own meat thing over at VFW? Yeah. Is it burn your own food thing?
Yeah, I went yesterday.
All right,
wow,
so you
said meat and she got excited.
You're hooked.
Yeah.
That's your thing now is to go to VFW.
I go there mainly. Well, the steak is good.
Yeah.
But we go there mainly for people watching. It's like,
please tell.
No, you have to be there. Then I'll tell you. No, you haven't.
I have. Well, it's been a couple of years, but I know where the place is.
So you need to go there on Saturday so I can catch you up.
On the ones that I'm supposed to be watching out for.
Yeah, it's fun.
There's a scene in I'm not going to the Simon Pegg movie. About zombies, where the guy Simon Pegg and his fat writer buddy get together and they start looking at people in the bar and making up past histories for them. That's fun, always fun to do. Anyway, what's the name of the movie I'm thinking about? The zombie thing, Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead, which is the funniest movie of all time, and I will watch it just on a whim. Let me see.
So it's not gross.
No. Okay. It's a comedy. It's funny. Isma Velez says, "Let there be fusion." There's a story I was reading up about that. No. There's nuclear fusion.
I see.
Right. And there are people out there that are still trying to figure out how we can make nuclear fusion in a safe form, so that we can create electricity from it. And I want to say, I'll read it. It's in front of me somewhere, but I'll read you the story. And apparently there was some kind of a breakthrough that they had recently.
Oh, nice.
And it might be one of those things where, all of the, never mind moving anything from the port up to the Okadu thing. We just leave all of that stuff over there. We're just going to do a fishing in a jar, and everybody will get their own little personal Walkman-size nuclear device, and that will power all of our homes and cars, maybe even airplanes. But I digress. Let me get back to the winners here, including Vince Delgado, Manny and Ning Rages, Juanita Machi, as I said, Nate Horns there, Steve Love, Real Joe.
Morning, Mr. Love.
Real human being out there. Let me see. I got, sorry to repeat everybody. It's Post Canteen. There it is. Reminder, today is the last day to sign up for the steak or pork chop. Come in before COB, close of business.
Pork chop.
Steak night is going to be on Saturday from 4 until 8 p.m. Is that this Saturday? Okay, gotcha. M.T. Farron is there. Cheryl Ochai. I got Joe Dizon hanging out with us this morning. Buenas Navade to Juan Norma Cruz. Dave Rowley is there. Army Lynn online. Evelyn Bernardo. Tommy Bernardo. J.B. St. Nicholas doing the countdown. How many days? 10 days between now. 10 days, 17 hours between now and Christmas morning.
Oh, man.
I'm going to make this. It's a stolen remark that I'm going to make. I saw this on Facebook this morning, and it rings absolutely true. Christmas didn't come this fast when we were kids, did it? You remember?
No, it took forever.
Christmas, like it was a year, December 1st. And, you'd already started going to Townhouse and Gibson's and Ben Franklin and doing your shopping and stuff. But it was still felt like it was a year away from Christmas. And then you got a couple of the other milestones, like the Feast of the Immaculate Conception and the school. But, you still feels like, oh, my God, it's a month away between now and Christmas. Now, we are going to turn around, and it will be Christmas Eve. And you'll be saying, Kmart's open all night, right? What time is the mall's going to be open all night? I got to go in and I got to do like commando revenge shopping in there. And I had to do that once, and I couldn't find anything for the lady who at the time was the lady of my life, and I gave her that year something to shave her legs with.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, that wasn't apparently
God,
what she was looking for. She was thinking of maybe something from Donson's or something like that.
What are you trying to say, Ray?
Yeah, that was a rough Christmas and into New Year's and most of the rest of that year of the 1980s. Let me see here. I got Sean May watching the show. So is April Flowers Shelton off a date to Auntie Bennett, Lujan Duenas. Steve Love thinking about going for a PhD just for the title. Absolutely, I suggest it. I mean, if you're not doing anything else, just because otherwise
we've all done it, man.
Otherwise, it's video games. Let me see here. Keenan McCausland. Tom Tahazi off the line, my friend. What are we doing? We got to tell the old man it's time for a China cabinet get-together, if for no other reason so I can hear you speaking Chinese. The real Joe Cruz online next to Lonnie Salas, Rudy Rodolfo, the Burger King. Good morning, Highness. Good to have you there. Cameron Mendiola and Troy Torres. Happy birthday, Pre-Michelle. I love you.
Good morning, Cello.
That almost makes up for me misspelling her last name.
I can't believe
There's keys on the keyboard here that are sticky, and I don't even want to fathom why that could possibly be.
I often wonder if you do it on purpose because you do it every time.
No, it's not. So I'm telling her, happy birthday, Shelly Gisson.
Wow, great, Ray.
Wear your crown today.
Wow.
But it's crown. It's crown with an E, like the hotel. See. You okay there? Joe? Starting to choke.
Yeah, you always misspell stuff, man.
Okay, it's all right. Simon Sanchez is online here. That I get Jane Nauta, Biba, Dave Duenas, and Patricia Canata, Buenas and Alfadeta, Colin Clark, Charles Craw, MJ Borja, Alex Afflegui saying, good morning, Chairman. That would be me. Peggy Lee Ann, off a day to you. Good morning, Cousin Ray, Joe, Jerry, and Donna D from Cousin Troy. We'll check with you a little bit later on and get an update on what fascinating questions you're going to be asking of Congressman Jim Moylan on Candid later on this morning. Bill Fritton is there. J.R. Rebenal, Tim Zedeker, Richard Troy Gutierrez. Have a day to Brad Wood. That's the amazing Brad Wood. Donna D. Nick Perlowski watching with his new icon. Let me see. Our favorite guy artist of the program, Ron Castro's there. Marla Carbolito Castro, also online. Jerome McDonald. Talk of the week is founder FTX Sam Bankman-Fried, who has been arrested.
Innocent.
You know, he didn't know what he was doing. Like the guy, somebody made him.
Yeah, come on, man. It's imaginary money.
It absolutely is at that level. It's not real. There's no reality to it. It's just numbers in a computer out there, and I'll just press a button here, see what happens. I'll press a button there, see what happens. Global crash. Okay, not that. Don't press that button again. So more on that in a minute. We've got Ron, Catherine, Tyron, Melvin Santos, Dave Herrera, who is asking me to run again. Let me see, Doris and Doug Mitchell, Isaac Nerbabul is hanging out with us this morning. Dean, Liza Castro, Mel Santos, Eric Raker, MD Latif, Real Joe.
Right click.
Thank you very much. Well, it's a guy, but I'm just saying right click. Oh, this might not be a real
right
guy.
click twice then, right?
Exactly. You and James Howard, Justin Estacchio, Ariola Sill. Good morning to Ed Kitsitsu. Good to see you there. Detwin Dale Audette, Marvin Chrysostomo. Tattoo Shana online here this morning. Somebody posted a picture of a car that was wanted to get off of Marine Corps Drive, and apparently there's people that drive like right in front of where her tattoo parlor is, trying to kind of get around slower traffic, and they actually go on the sidewalk.
Terrible.
And it says almost run over her little girl when that happened. Let me see. Tommy Bernardo, Muhammad Kalem, Real Joe.
Right click.
Thank you very much. Mohammed, can you say silence?
Yes. Good morning, Mohammed.
Say silence. I kill you. Can we do that? Is that too profiling?
Yeah, that's too much, man.
Sorry. Dave Bloss, Gerald Young, Richard Wittenbach, Santos. Hello. Nice to see you there, Chief. Francis Duffy. Let me see. Wen Rowie online. Et Napati. MD Fafuk Mahe is in the show. So is Dave Dumpke, Charles David Churchill. The B-Man, Dennis Larson, is working with us now this morning. So is Mercy Wenzel, Joanne Delgado. I got Henry Menglotya, Anna Lizama, Jose Tetpog, Junior, Lauren Michelle. Hey, Hafa Ade, how are you? You know, I missed you at the SMG, the Southern Mountain Gear Run last night. I was looking for you, Lauren.
Oh, you did a Ganya last night?
No, I didn't. I'm just saying I was looking for her. I was over at Carabao having beers with Bob Kelly, some guy from NPR. But I was thinking maybe Lauren's in the outside doing the thing. I don't know. But beat me and we'll do that. John LaRue, I got Ben Borja, EOD Kaboom. What do we say about EOD guys?
Hot guys. Hot wives.
I'll just let you have that one there. Peter Lozano and Tasman is watching. Meg Sooth, Drew Tenorio. My God, this is a huge crowd. Oh, look, Jay Rojas is online.
Mahalos.
Good to have you there. He's wishing happy birthday to Big Sister Shelly as well. Chet Pangolinan, Dennis Larson saying, have a beautiful day. You get it? 'Cause he's the B-man. I love you, honey.
He must be buzzing.
Da-na-na-na-na. Jose Tetbago says, I have an SBF shirt. It hangs itself after every wash. Little profile there, too. Okay, got you. Marie Babauta Baldwin, Joanne Fullerton, Tina Garcia rounding things out for us. Just a reminder, as I always do, like, share, whatever, do the thing, and click on it so that when we're online, you get something that tells you that we're online so you can come and hang out and you don't miss 1 minute of fun. Who's your Big Daddy 06 online? It's the security man for the show, MP Ogo there. Live stream, Japan, 51 degrees. And for your dollar, you will get 133 yen at the DOD installations. He likes to keep track of what's going on with the crime scene there. Tokyo District Court rejected their dangerous claim, but said in November 30th ruling that the existing legal system not allowing a same-sex couple to marry and become a family is in a... Wait, you stopped. What else is going on? Tommy Bernardo also hanging out on that side as well. Mr. Kitsuzu, please finish up what you were typing. Tina Garcia, Jose Martinez online wishing Big Sister Shelly a happy birthday today.
Hey, Jose.
Nice to have everybody online. So what's on the table of contents? What are we going to be talking about today? Nothing. If we've made it this far, this is the point of talk radio and newspapers and news in the morning. Is a lot of people want to get up in the morning and just go, okay, the Norks didn't send over any missiles. The Chi-Coms haven't invaded Taiwan or Guam or anything like that. We're all about where we were when we laid down yesterday. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the rest of the conversation will be on news and news typey things that we're going to be talking about. But I don't know that there's anything tectonic that's going to be making any news here today. There's some interesting observations that we might be able to make. Random violence out in the streets. We got a new guy in Washington D.C. But I'm going to tell you, the old guy hasn't stopped working. Right? I mean, it's the election. Mike St. Nicholas ran for governor, didn't make it out of the primary against Lulian Guerrero, and that was it for him and Sabrina, and then he went quietly into the night. No, he did not. Congressman Mike St. Nicholas, in one of the last details of this term of the House of Representatives, has found a way to get money to Guam. It's not huge money. But this is going to make a difference in a lot of people's lives. He's gotten a loan from the USDA Rural Development to the tune of $1.835 million. Whoa. The rural development investment will be used to assist Island Search Corporation in obtaining a term loan to construct a 6,000-square-foot warehouse building. And the building will be located in Barragata. Island Search Corporation is a woman-owned, Hub-certified S Corporation, which specializes in an array of equipment and construction inspection services and certifications. This will be a new warehouse for the company, which will enable them to consolidate their operations all into one facility.
Did you say woman-owned?
I said woman-owned.
How do we take credit for this and make him look bad?
Are you talking about, like, see, now that's the perspective. So, well, what's going to happen is you will hear this exact same story later on, but it will come with the pat on the back for Adelup. Adelup's going to say, working with our congressman in Washington, D.C., who we'll never name. We'll never say his name in a press release. But working with our federal counterparts, we've managed to help these search people get a loan for $1.835 million to help a woman-owned, Hub-certified S corporation here on Guam. That's what's going to happen. They will never, ever give him credit for anything. That's why I feel like I got to do it. 20 away from the top of the hour. What have we got here? Is it time for our first big look at news and headlines? You ready there, Donna D? All right, we'll struggle through this one here, see what news you were able to find. How about what happened?
30-year-old Eugenio Jackie Sonis is wanted by police in connection to multiple robberies reported in Anigua, Harmon, and Jigo. His photo and details are on a flyer released by GPD. Sonis is known to go to game rooms in Harmon and Tamuning and was last seen along Goro Elena Street in Jigo. Authorities say he is armed and dangerous. If seen, call police right away and do not approach. And legislation to extend the $100 a month power bill subsidies for another 5 months was discussed yesterday, and GPA is in full support of the measure. The bill by Speaker Therese Terlahi would appropriate $26.3 million from fiscal year 2022 general fund revenues collected in excess of the adopted levels. It's essentially an extension to the governor's energy credit program. And Guam is expected to receive over $4 million from agreements with CVS and Walgreens connected to allegations that the companies contributed to the opioid crisis by failing to properly oversee the dispensing of opioids at their stores. AG Levan Camacho says the funding will go towards opioid treatment, recovery, and abatement. And those are your local headlines on The Point. Now back to Ray.
Okay. Interesting story that I came across yesterday. And I'm wondering if there's like a local angle on something like this. But airline passengers in the EU will soon be able to use their phones to full effect in the sky. The European Commission has ruled that airlines can provide 5G technology on board airplanes. No. It's true. With them allowing them, that means that you'll be able to continue to surf at high speed. It's, the 5G speeds or whatever it is that we keep getting promised.
Yeah.
Enable innovative services for people, so folks will be able to continue to, like I said, surf and do whatever it is that they do on their phones. No need for airplane mode in the European Union. There's more on this story. Well, huh?
I always thought that airplane mode was so stupid.
Yeah, well, so as I understand it, the reason why they ask you to shut off your phone, it has nothing to. The airplane is not going to fall out of the sky because you're sitting there with your going down, mayday, mayday, mayday. But it has nothing to do with that. It's just that they want you to pay attention to the lady doing the demo in the front. With the
and
mask
those are great, aren't they, Ray?
Well, there's some airlines where they change up the script, and that's always a delight. But they want you to do that, so they want you to off your phone. And it means that people out in Europe, where they're a little bit more ahead of us cretins out in this part of the world, have decided that that's all right. Now, the only problem that I have with that is it will encourage people to do what on airplanes? Make phone calls.
Oh, I thought you were going to say porn.
Oh my God, no! Make phone calls.
You're right. Make phone calls.
Or FaceTime in the. Look at me! I'm on the airplane. I'm going to go visit my mom out in Minnesota. I'm on an airplane. Look, you want to see what's around me? Look, there's the flight attendant. There's the galley. There's the bathroom. I used that bathroom. I didn't lock the door. Right. So the people are going to be talking on it, and I don't know when this became. And look, I can be pretty annoying myself, but I've noticed more frequently that people will be in public places having a FaceTime with somebody else without headphones. They're just they're like talking, and then there's somebody else on the thing talking, and there's all kinds of other people having conversations or eating dinner or watching a movie or something like that while somebody is FaceTiming, and I'm just worried I'm already in road rage condition orange right now. I'm in air rage condition orange right now, just thinking about being on an airplane with somebody who just will not shut up all the way through because they've got airtime. They've got a way to do that phone thing.
Remember when people would use the push to talk at the bank? Yeah, and they're like, walkie-talkieing whoever about the errands that they have to run.
I'm a big shot. I'm over in Bank of Guam. I'm second in line. But I'm going to let somebody go because I want to see the pretty teller over there. Right? That's the way it works. 644, Ray Gibson Show. More on the way. Stay there. All 3 stations, all 3 morning shows. Thanks to all the listeners for Pika's Best, Choice Broadcasting has swept the top 3 best radio stations. The Point, Boss 104, and Star 101. Top 3 radio personalities, Kyle Mandapat, Ray Gibson, and Daryl Lizava. Put the power of Pika's Best to work for you. If you're an advertiser, call 671-888-7346 for information, rates, and packages. And let us get your message out to Pika's Best listeners with Pika's Best broadcasters. And thanks for listening to Pika's Best.
Half a day. Burger King fans rejoice. The new Italian Royal Crispy Chicken is now available. Crispy white meat breast filet topped with warm marinara sauce. Melty mozzarella cheese on a toasted brioche bun. Top this off with jalapeno bites and a refreshing Coke Zero. Of course, like all good things, the Italian Royal Chicken will only be available for a limited time. Happy holidays from your friends at BK in Tumon Bay, Hagåtña, the Micronesia Mall, and the airport. You rule.
It's a holiday sale at American Water Tech in Tamuini. Get the Aquaflow or Hydrotech reverse osmosis drinking water system installed for $785. And that includes 1 free service, a $260 value, and 1 year limited warranty. There's also the Connecticut home water softener system for $2,975. That includes 2 free services valued at $380 and a 1 year limited warranty. Call American Water Tech at 671-649-2301 or go to their website for more information at www.americanwatertech.com. Sale ends December 30th, 2022.
All right, on screen right now is supposed to be the traffic gizmo map so I can see what's happening, but that's Tattoo Sean. As we were talking about lowrider dogs, that's Tattoo Shauna's lowrider dog
So
right there.
cute.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Is this some
I
kind
want to
of
give him treats.
like a Jack Russell? But is it, Shauna, just, we're friends now. I can ask this question without, I think annoying you or offending you in any way, belligerent question, but is that a cool Jack Russell? Because every other, like, except for my brother's got
Some
a Jack
of them are
Russell,
demon
right?
dogs, man.
Some of them, they just won't keep still. They just, they're up and down and yapping and running around.
I like
and
the way they jump. It's cute. It's so high.
they jump with all 4 feet
Yeah, it's cute.
off the ground. Yeah, so I'm just asking. Or is this one the tolerable version of a Jack Russell? The Booney dog version. You saved my life. Thank you very much. And that is a rescue dog, by the way. 888-825-5888-TALK. Let's go ahead with the traffic music again, and we'll see what we got here right now. Nothing major going on. Looks like we got a couple of slow spots up in Gigo as you make your way southbound on Marine Corps Drive. Otherwise, traffic seems to be isolated to just intersections right now, and I suppose that's a good thing. 8, 10, and 16 running clear. 4 and 8 into town looking pretty good. 10 and 15 starting to get a little bit busy through there. Might also see a little bit slower traffic if you're making your way around Navy Hospital and Guam High. Otherwise, southbound Marine Corps Drive all the way down to Big Navy and Sumai is looking righteous. At 647, there's your right now traffic. This is The Point.
Christmas is a very special time, but it can also be a very hard time. For the foster children Harvest House serves, it can be difficult and painful being away from their families and siblings. During Harvest House's Christmas celebration event, we hope that siblings living in different foster homes can join together to share in Christmas joy. We need your help to provide all 600 plus foster children with Christmas gifts. Help us make this a memorable Christmas for each of them. Harvest House will be accepting gifts until December 14th. Contact us at 300-5433 or email harvest.house@hbcguam.net if you have questions or want a suggested gift list. That's 300-5433 or email harvest.house@hbcguam.net.
Bringing you closer to the action. Any speaker, anytime. Watch and listen live on ThePOINT.gu.
Yeah, that's funny. It's, somebody asking, doesn't Shelley and Ray have the same last name? Donna D writes, well, not when Ray is typing it. But the B is sticky. I managed to get all the other words spelled correctly, didn't I? Birthday. Well, that's how I spell birthday. Do it at my house. 888-825-5888-TALK. Cousin Troy in a second. Bob Kelly on line 1. Go.
Yeah, you were talking about the airplanes, and I just wanted to mention a couple of things. One of the big reasons, besides people talking, which, of course, would be a nuisance if you had 15, 20 people in an area all making phone calls, is the fact that when you're in the air, that phone is able to see like 15, 20, or 30 cell sites. and that causes problems at the ground operations of the cell companies.
Should I do an active contrition, or what is it? Yeah. Like will it break Verizon or something?
Well, it just I mean, they're not made to have one foe. They need to be hitting even multiple geographic boundaries depending upon the height. Now they're getting better. What the cell companies are doing is they're putting more down tilt, so they cover the ground area better and are covering the higher area. So that is one thing. But I also wanted to mention United has great data service on almost all their flights now.
True.
And so I can listen to your show when I'm out over it's just over the Pacific between Japan and the U.S. The problem with United is all our planes here and out of Guam are 737s. They don't even have entertainment systems.
Well, that may be changing soon. Top story for you airline buffs. Did you see this? United Airlines is going to be buying 200 airplanes soon. They're going to 100 Dreamliners and 100 737 Maxes.
Well, I'm hoping that we will eventually get something with better entertainment and in-flight internet, because between here, Philippines, here, Japan, here, Micronesia, we don't really have the greatest flights as far as seats and as far as in-flight amenities compared to flying out of Japan or even in the United States right now.
Yeah. Well, I always haven't gone on an airplane in 3 years, but in past, what I do is I fully charge the iPad and make sure that Netflix has got a variety of program options for me, so that if I get on the airplane and their entertainment system is lousy, then I've always got my own entertainment system. I got Goonies on my iPad. Right? Maybe one of the best movies, Goonies and Princess Bride, right? Those are a couple of movies you'll find on my iPad. Will keep me entertained for hours.
Yeah, and then you were talking about people using cell phones in public places. The place I find most amusing is when I walk into a men's restroom and sitting in a stall with the door closed, I hear somebody just talking away.
You and I, unfortunately, attend some of the same restaurants and bars where that's a recurrent feature, unfortunately. Yeah. Bob, I'm going to run. I'll talk to you pretty soon.
Talk to you later.
You know you will. 888-8255-888-TALK. He was my seatmate last night, and we were going over all kinds of some technical. It was unplanned. But I was doing a little bit of homework. Because I've got some upgrades that I need to do in 2023, and I wanted to mentally start prepping for those kinds of things. And then in comes Bob, and I'm like, oh, good. You can help me with this. Here, take a look at these schematics and tell me what it is. Oh, I've been looking at them upside down this entire time. Gotcha. 6:52 in the morning, and my cousin Troy is online. Give him a chance first to wish big sister Shelly a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Prima.
That's so sweet. That is so sweet. I'm so glad our families are tight like this. But anyway, in addition to Shelley's birthday, there's other things to look forward to, including Congressman Jim Moylan, who is going to be on the Candid today.
So he messaged me last night, and he asked if he could move it to Thursday at 11:30 because they're still in session.
Oh, yeah. I guess. I keep getting the notifications on my YouTube that the legislature is in session, but I haven't really been following their agenda as much as I'm anticipating having them on and in my ear bones on Friday night to see how the votes are going to go on a number of very interesting pieces of legislation. Override attempts of Bill 11, the Heartbeat Act, and what's going to be happening with what's the one they're touted yesterday is the power credit extension.
Yeah, but there's an even more important piece of legislation coming up, and that from what I understand, Speaker Therese Chalahi is going to bring her medical malpractice reform bill on the floor.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so
well, I mean, it's had the public hearings, and it is a topic that most people that are at least have a casual awareness of.
It's had multiple public hearings.
Yeah,
and it's gone through multiple phases of vetting and even significant amendment. And so, I'm kind of sad that it's happening in the last session because, we don't know how this legislature is going to adjourn once it's done voting, and why that's important is because of the power of the pocket veto. If this legislature adjourns, may die. There are just opportunities here if things go the wrong way for the governor to have her way 100%. This is an opportunity for the legislature to show that it's a separate and co-equal branch of government, and it's going to do what it believes is right. But
yeah, after exhausting all of the other possibilities, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they've had 2 years of this revolving door on the public health emergency. Any number of the issues that they're going to be dealing with now are things that have been a part of the legislative agenda for the last year at least. And the wheels of that piece of government grinding ever so slowly in what will eventually feel like a tactical move on their part as this session ends.
I don't know how Bob feels about this or how he rules on something like this, but if the legislature can't override the veto of Bill 11 with 10 votes, then I wonder whether Senator Duenas or any of them can just simply make a motion on the floor to end the public health emergency, which would only take 8 votes.
There's a resolution that Bob Klitsky wrote on my behalf in the 35th Guam legislature.
Well, I'm wondering if a resolution is even necessary. Shouldn't they just, does the law say that
it's the most efficient mechanism that is available to the legislature and has been available for a long time. The truth, I believe, is that the legislature wants to say in loud, soaring voices that they are an independent second branch of the government of Guam, but don't have the testicular. They don't have the sand in their stomach to actually do it.
I don't know whether any reasonable person will believe that the continuing public health emergency has anything to do anymore with the actual pandemic or with health concerns. I mean, it really does. At this point, it's just about the movement of resources and the ability for the governor to do things without the normal checks and balances. And Senator Chris Duenas, he's made some good points about, since this bill was introduced in January of 2021, which is almost 2 years ago, the legislature has seen administration officials who refuse to answer questions about contracts. You've seen the med health issue pop up.
That I'm aware of, and I asked Frank Bloss about this when I saw him on Saturday. I said, have you ever gotten, finally, from out of the attendant Gibetnu, any kind of a legible report, whether it is regular procurement, emergency procurement, or whatever? Have you ever gotten a report out of the GSA that is sorted on, I don't know, the supplier's name? Or sorted on the amount, or sorted on contract number, or anything like that. You remember about a year and a half ago, they basically gave the legislature a data dump on all of the procurement that had been taking place over the COVID public health emergency, and it was unrecognizable. It would have taken an entire staff of people to line by line re-input all of that into a database so that we could get a sense of who out there was getting all of the sweetheart money from the government of Guam.
Yep, and I don't know if you remember.
And they never got another version of it. And the damnedest thing is, cuz I don't think they asked. I don't think anybody asked. They asked, here's a report. Okay, nobody can read it, but thank you very much. That I'm aware of, nobody at the legislature ever went back to them and say, "Come on, guys, stop screwing around. Give me something I can sort. Give me something that in some kind of a spreadsheet format, database format, so I can sort this based on customer name. I can sort it on date. I can sort it on amounts, that kind of thing." But they didn't. They just let the kabuki go on.
You're absolutely right. And, the one senator who should be up in arms about all this and should, I would hope, turn her vote into a vote to override Bill 11 is the senator who's in charge of procurement, who has seen these things and has reviewed the complaints and has asked for things but not gotten them, and that's Senator Sabina Perez. I think there's a whole... Bill 11 seems to have 9 votes, including Senator Moylan, for an override. I think if they get either Senator Sabina Perez or Senator Pito Terlahi to vote along with those other 9, it could actually be possible. But Sabina Paris, truly, if she wants to make a statement that she is an independent legislator, not afraid of this powerful administration, concerned with the financial and administrative non-oversight of the governor, which she has, then she should vote to equalize the letter.
You would think. You would think. I appreciate you showing her a straight line, a little arrow on the ground that shows the right direction. I just don't know if anybody's going to take it. I've only got about 30 seconds left. I was going to ask you about the Jerry Kitchen trial, because it looks like that's back on track. And you had posted on Candid yesterday asking out loud whether or not this is going to be the big deal. Is Attorney David Lujan about to shine a bright spotlight in police corruptions and cover-ups? Unfortunately, I got news next. Can we talk again later on in the program today?
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
All right, we'll reach out to you. Go ahead and get some breakfast. We'll see you soon. It's 7. Here's Fox News on Pika's Best. This is The Point.
I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
This morning, we unsealed an 8-count indictment charging Samuel Bankman-Fried, FTX's founder, with a series of interrelated fraud schemes that contributed to FTX's collapse.
U.S. Attorney Damian Williams detailing what prosecutors say was intentional fraud, deceiving customers and investors to enrich himself and others, including diverting investor money to cover expenses and risky trades at his hedge fund Alameda. He could face decades in jail if convicted. A lawyer for Bankman-Fried says he's considering all of his legal options. The 30-year-old appearing in court in the Bahamas today and declining to waive his right to a hearing, setting up a potential extradition fight. President Biden about to sign the Respect for Marriage Act. Singer and LGBTQ advocate Cyndi Lauper thanking him.
We're allowed to love who we love, which sounds odd to say, but Americans can now love who we love.
The bill does not require states to allow gay marriages, but does require recognition of them. The White House urging bipartisan work on immigration reform, while saying again that preparations are underway for the end of Title 42 next week, the pandemic-era rule that has turned away many asylum seekers.
As was the case before Title 42 and remain the case after it, individuals who attempt to cross the border unlawfully and don't have a legal basis to remain will be subject to removal.
White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre says they're committed to a humane process moving forward. This is some House Republicans pledge again to try to impeach the Homeland Security Secretary, accusing the administration of failing to secure the southern border. An encouraging report on inflation rallied stocks for a while. But at the closing bell, the Dow only up about 105 after a more than 800-point swing during the session. America is listening to Fox News.
Sandwich numbers 1, 2, and 3 on the new Subway series are dedicated to the almighty cheesesteak.
Dude, you can never go wrong with the number 1, the Philly. It's a classic cheesesteak with classic toppings.
Oh no, the pepper jack cheese and Baja Chipotle sauce is the new take on that outlaw cheesesteak.
No. Bacon, Monterey cheddar, and creamy peppercorn ranch on the monster cheesesteak. That's the winner, bro.
Oh yeah? I'll meet you back here for the next round, the Italiano sandwiches.
Try one of the new Subway series sandwiches and order them by number. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more about WorkPass, visit business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Congress may buy more time to prevent a government shutdown this week.
Lawmakers are expected to reset the clock and pass a one-week short-term spending bill that would extend the funding deadline to December 23rd as negotiators continue to work on a long-term funding measure.
I think we're very close to getting an omnibus appropriation bill that would be, I think, broadly appealing.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell says an agreement, however, needs to be reached by the middle of next week. House Republicans are calling for the Senate GOP to reject the long-term measure before control of the House flips in January. On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says there will be a vote on an amendment for Senator Joe Manchin's previously rejected pipeline permitting plan that some Republicans have criticized as reform in name only. Elon Musk loses a financial crown.
The billionaire CEO of Tesla and Twitter is no longer the wealthiest person in the world due to the tanking price of Tesla shares. Musk is now in second place, with the top spot now going to French billionaire Bernard Arnault, chairman and CEO of luxury goods maker LVMH, with a net worth of over $187 billion. As Tesla stock declines, so does Musk's wealth, which is now over $174 billion. His riches are largely tied to Tesla shares.
Fox's Hillary Barsky. Musk had been teetering in the rankings in recent days after taking the top spot of world's wealthiest man from Amazon founder Jeff Bezos in September of last year. Netflix says its Harry and Meghan series is now the biggest documentary debut ever on the streaming service. More than 28 million households watching at least part of it, more than 81 million viewing hours for the first 3 episodes. At the World Cup, Argentina just advancing to the final, beating Croatia 3-0. Elisa Brady, Fox News.
Oh, KFC, oh, KFC, original and crispy. Happy holidays, folks. Colonel Sanders here. KFC is here to help feed your holiday hunger with our 6 or 12-piece family meal. They both come with your choice of our delicious KFC sides, biscuits, and a personal gift from the Colonel. 2 free glass food containers. Have a safe and happy holiday season from KFC Guam. It's finger licking good.
iPhone 14 Pro, all systems pro. Capture incredible detail with a 48-megapixel main camera. Experience iPhone in a whole new way with dynamic island and always-on display. And crash detection, a new safety feature that calls for help when you can't. Now, for a limited time, receive a $200 Visa gift card on us when you sign up for a new line with the purchase of your iPhone 14. Come into GTA today and experience the new iPhone 14 series of phones. It's all systems pro. Terms and conditions may apply. Visit GTA.net for more information. GTA, we start with you.
Half a day, Guam. Chili's is going local and adding new items to the menu. All your Guam favorites with the Chili's twist. Hear and taste the excitement of Chili's sizzling stir fry. Made with your choice of chicken, beef, or shrimp, and everyone's favorite Chili's signature fajita sauce. Or put your taste buds to the test with the heat of the Denancy glazed roast chicken or the fall off the bone tender St. Louis ribs. Try all these dishes and more at Chili's. More life and great local favorites happen here.
Half a day at 7:06. I'm Donna DeJesus. Here's a look at your local news on The Point. Ronette Chutaro, who admitted to the stabbing death of Arthur Wakuk in 2020, will have to wait a little longer to find out how long he will serve. Sentencing was delayed at the request of one of his attorneys. Superior Court Judge Elise Iriarty says she had not received anything in writing from defense attorney Samuel Tecker. Only Chutaro's other attorney, John Terlahi, was present during the sentencing hearing. In December 2020, Chutaro told investigators that Wakuk attempted to hit him with his car and attacked him first with a knife before he took the knife away and stabbed Wakuk. Chutaro faces 7 to 15 years in prison as part of his plea deal for manslaughter. Terlahi asked that the court provide a short continuance to allow the memorandum to be completed. Iriarty granted a 2-week continuance. Sentencing is now set for December 29. And more power bill relief may be on the way soon, with a proposal to extend another $500 in energy credits to ratepayers moved forward without objection at the legislature yesterday afternoon. GPA is seeing late payments and customers moving to payment plans on a daily basis. Three hikes to the LEAC this year have driven power bills through the roof, bringing the average power bill to about $416, more than double what the average power bill was last year. Senators discussed Speaker Therese Terlahi's Bill 357, which would extend the $100 a month power credit to ratepayers for the months of December through April. It would use $26.3 million of the roughly $47 million in unobligated excess tax revenue collected in the previous year. Lawmakers are expected to vote on the energy credit program at the close of the December session. Senator Joe San Augustine withdrew his Bill 359, which mirrors the program outlined in Terlahi's bill, but identifies a different funding source. The speaker added The speaker added San Agustin on as a co-sponsor to her measure. More news after this.
Ring in the season with Coca-Cola and Burger King's Win for the Holidays giveaway. Your chance to win one of 3 premium Coca-Cola prize packs at participating Burger King locations. Each prize pack includes a kettle popcorn maker, luggage, a road trip grill, and a custom adult-style bike with helmet. Purchase any Whopper combo meal or frozen beverage. Enter the transaction code from your receipt on the official Coke Guam website. See restaurant for details. This promotion ends on December 31st, 2022. Drawing will be held January 6, 2023. Happy holidays from your friends at Burger King. You rule.
Students at the water-damaged FBLG Middle School in Jigo are scheduled to relocate from their campus during Christmas break and share the Ukudu High School campus when classes resume in January. The high school and middle school must share the Dedido Ukudu campus each day in 2 shifts because the school isn't large enough to accommodate students from both schools at the same time. GDOE spokesperson Michelle Franquez says the school principals met last Friday to discuss the relocation. Transition information published by the high school states that Okudu students will be on campus from 7 in the morning to noon, with middle school students and teachers starting classes on campus at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The shorter school day for high school students means trimming their class time from 100 minutes per class to 75 minutes. GDOE has not provided information about the revised class schedule or at what time the middle schoolers will be dismissed each day. If their school day is also cut to 5 hours, they would not be released until about 6 in the evening. And the USDA Farm Service Agency is introducing a program intended for farmers and ranchers to obtain coverage against crop disasters. The FSA Non-Insured Crop Disaster Assistance Program, or NAP, provides financial assistance to producers of uninsured crops impacted by natural disasters that result in catastrophic crop losses. Eligible crops include those grown specifically for food, fiber, livestock consumption, biofuel or bio-based products, or commodities such as value loss crops, including Christmas trees and ornamental nursery, honey, maple sap, and many others. Farmers can contact the FSA office to see which crops are eligible. December 31 is the deadline to sign up for 2023 coverage for vegetables, fruits, grass, and honey. For more information on how to sign up, call the USDA Farm Service Agency Guam County Office at 671-300-8551. And those are your top stories. Back to Ray with weather.
Well, I'll get around to doing that a little bit later on. I'm looking for on Facebook the official page of Rachel Arenas, who is a delegate. We got this story. We talked to Dave Del Sol about this yesterday. 5-person congressional delegation from the Philippines is meeting with Lulian Guerrero to discuss the possible hiring of an additional 10,000 skilled OFWs, that's overseas Filipino workers. Pangasinan 3rd District Representative Rachel Arenas, who led the Philippine congressional delegation, shared photos of her with lawmakers on Guam, should be in her Facebook. Arenas is the chairperson of the House Committee on Foreign Affairs. And then there's a quote in Tagalog that I'm not even going to try to read here this morning, but very, very interesting. But the thing, I'm looking at the picture going, hey, I know why she won. Maybe she's smart, but she's definitely a looker. Rachel Arenas. I might be able to get just some fleeting pictures of her on the screen. So if you're wondering who that new Ganda Ka is out there, she's a Congress lady from the Philippines out here to see if we can do something about boosting jobs and attention for OFWs out of the Philippines, which got to be great for them. Is you got a job and you're coming out to Guam and you're getting some decent wages and then repatriating the money back to the Philippines with the exchange and the families and all that stuff. And there are places, I can't remember the name of it, and Carl Gutierrez isn't on island to tell me, but there is like one province down there in the Philippines where the majority of folks that come to work on Guam are from. And who the entire community there benefits greatly from all of the money that is made here that gets sent back to these to their families by the OFWs. Can't remember the name, but not a big deal. But look her up on a thing and say welcome to Guam on her Facebook page. It's 7:13 in the morning. Somebody's asking about weather. Hold on, I got it. It's going to be nice. Next couple of days is going to be just gorgeous. Mostly sunny skies today and tomorrow. And on Friday is going to be gorgeous out there. Might be a little bit gusty. I'm looking at winds between 21 and about 25 miles an hour over the next couple of days. So watch out for that. If there's things that look like they could fall down. Like, I don't know, your political signs. Cazendo, Facebook this morning says it's an indication of your poor organizational skills. The election is over. Send your people back out to pull those signs down. Let's get Guam back to being as beautiful as we possibly can. Heat index over the next couple of days is going to feel like 92 degrees. Is it going to rain? Only a 20% chance of rain falling on Guam today. Sunset tonight at 5:55. Watch the sun rise tomorrow morning at 6:35. There it is. News and weather together on The Point.
Happy holidays, Guam. From now through January 13th, the Guam Visitors Bureau is giving you a chance to win $150 in cash just by sharing your Christmas spirit. Each week, GVB will announce the theme of the week, so take your best photo or video and upload to visitguam.com/Instagram to enter for a chance to win $150 in cash. Winners will be announced every Friday. Brought to you by GVB, making Guam a better place to celebrate this season of giving.
News this hour is brought to you by the friendly and hardworking folks at Hoffaday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, Lolita, and their team of professionals. Contact Hoffaday Realty for all your real estate needs. Call 671-989-0008 or email hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. They are located at 426 Chalon, San Antonio, Suite 204, Tumaning, and open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. Hoffaday Realty thanks you for your support in Pica's Best of 2022.
Okay. Ray Gibson Show brought to you by APL, American President Lines, global presence with a local home. Also in the team at Chili's, local favorites like Dinatsi glazed roast chicken and ribs, Kadun Pica wings. Oh, man, any kind of wings. But, yeah, make it Kadun style? Absolutely. Southwest Tinactac or sizzling stir fry at Chili's. More life and great value happen here.
Rediscover Talk Radio here. Your FM News Talk Superstation. This is The Point.
I found it, Ismael. Some about fission fusion could be a game changer in the quest for clean energy. Nuclear fusion has been out of reach, just out of reach for decades, but that might be changing. While nuclear fission has been a controversial energy production option for generations, the concept of nuclear fusion has remained out of reach. According to recent reports, decades of investment appear to have begun to pay off as scientists at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, Joe and I used to work there, remember?
Yes.
We did that with that summer gig.
I cleaned toilets.
Created a reaction that actually created more energy than it required. Huh? They made a reaction that created more energy than it required.
Low input, high output.
Exactly. We're on the plus side of an equation, energy-wise. This has been the goal of researchers pursuing nuclear fusion, and there were plenty of skeptics who thought it might never be feasible. Of course, it's too early to start celebrating. There's supposed to be an announcement today that will provide additional details, but there's clearly some optimism among insiders that we're on our way to perfecting an easily renewable and environmentally friendly form of energy.
Oh, wow.
Nuclear fusion is created when an almost impossibly intense source of heat causes atomic particles to fuse and produce new energy. It's the latest accomplishment. If the latest accomplishments can be replicated on a larger scale, it could mean much lower cost and increased supply without taking a negative toll on the planet. The lab spokesperson included a pretty significant caveat, along with the earlier reports, noting that the analysis is still ongoing, which means the team is unable to provide details or confirmation at this time. Folks in the Biden administration, from the weirdos at the Department of Energy and White House Office of Science and Technology, are set to join officials from the lab to provide additional details about the latest advancements in this clean energy, nuclear fusion. Ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine what a game changer that would be if all of a sudden it did not cost us 31 cents to do a kilowatt? I've been watching that. I've got the My Guam Energy or My Energy thing with GPA, and I've been trying to keep an eye on that. And you can tell that it is warmer now at this time of year, or at this time, because my energy, I want to say I'm over by 1% in my kilowatt hour usage, and it's something that you can graph. And I think the reason is I had that taco party. I had 2 taco parties 2 weekends in a row, and I think that's why my
No more
energy
visitors.
consumption absolutely through the roof. I tell the cat, keep still. Keep still. You're going to run around. You're going to get, So anyway, where were we? 7:18 in the morning. About now is a good time to take a look at what's going on in the markets. Let me pull this up on my screen so I can see where everybody ended up. There it is. S&P 500 up by 29 points, closing at 4,019. The NASDAQ picked up 113. Good news coming out of the Fed, I guess. It looks like there's some not so chilling numbers on inflation. Maybe things are cooling off that way. NASDAQ at 11,256. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up by 103 points. Closes at 34,108. FTSE picks up 56. The Nikkei green by 112. Hang Seng Index up by 132. This is a good day for the markets. Only 2 that are down right now are the Shanghai, and between them, they're both down by like less than 3 points. DAX picked up 191 points, 14,497. Tesla's in the red. Off by about $6 here this morning. Oh, and what was the story in the Fox News a few minutes ago? Tesla is dragging Elon. It's Elon, by the way. A lot of people, like the lefty haters, have begun calling him Elmo. I'm sorry, that's so funny. It's not
That's
Elmo,
so creative,
but it's Elon Musk, and no doubt they are all applauding the idea that their dream electric vehicles are tanking in the markets. Or wait a second, you're not supposed to. I thought you're supposed to love the environment and everything. The Tesla. But anyway, where are we? Who was the big winner today by percentage? It would be the NASDAQ. But I don't want to look at the NASDAQ. I look at them all the time. Let's take a look at the big winners on the S&P 500. Moderna, Halliburton, Match Group, EPAM Systems, and Cooper Companies. United and Trimble, American Airlines, Centene Corp, and Tesla round out the bottom of the S&P 500. Already told you about Tesla. Interesting to see the numbers for United and American Airlines are down, considering everybody is traveling. Everybody is traveling. I just run into random guys. I was the other night, walked into Moses. I see my buddy sitting over at the bar. I said, "What's going on?" He said, "Well, just having a drink before I go." "Oh, where are you going?" States. And he told me which one. I said, "Why? It's cold there." He says, "Yeah. I'm about to find out why I've lived here. Why I've lived here on Guam for the last 20 years, because I'm going to get out there to see that." Saw another friend, got on the airplane this morning. He's going to someplace cold, but he will feel and bask in the warmth of grandbaby love. I wish I could tell you who it was.
Yeah.
I wish I could tell you who it was, but he was showing me pictures of the grandbabies and him, and he says, "I can't wait to get back to these little monsters." So I figure, what is it, 7:21? Guy's probably got about another 23, 24 hours of travel in him, and he will be, as I said, basking in grandbaby love and warmth. 7:21 in the morning. So where were we on the thing? What did I go over the commodities yet? No, have not. All right, oil, $75.43. If you're buying some of that, that's actually up by 2.25 or so. So it's not good news, but it's not terrible news. It's still trading in the under $80 range. Gold at $1,822. If you bought gold yesterday, like I told you to, you'd be rich. You would be a rich Elon Musk. Well, not quite that big. It's up by. They picked up $30 in value, and that's ask me. That's a significant increase. But it's been kind of wonky for gold recently. On the exchanges, if you're doing any traveling, if you're going to Japan, 135.48 is the bank number. Let me put that into comparison into. A way that you can see what's going on with that. 135 yen to the dollar, which is more yen in exchange than it was in January. You go back to January of this year, and I'm sorry, a year ago, and the yen was trading at 113 to the U.S. dollar. It's what we like to refer to as pretty close to the penny yen. And that's where we were at. So 135 still favors travel in that direction. But, me and my buddy that's going to the States where it's cold, he says, "Why don't you go to Japan?" I said, "Because it's cold." He says, "Yeah, but have you seen the exchange rate?" I said, "Yeah, I've seen the exchange. But it's the same inflation there as it is here. I might be getting more yen, but it ain't going to go much further because everything there is costing a whole heck of a lot of money, just like everything here costs a whole heck of a lot of money." And anyway, that's where the yen is. If you're going to the Philippines, about the same as it was yesterday, 55.5, and the won is at 12.92 which is off by about 15 won to the dollar for those of you that might be thinking about doing some business or heading to Korea to see what's going on out there. As I said, West Texas at about 75, Tapas at $81.17. Nothing major to write home about there. It doesn't look like there's enough of a change in that to require the gas companies to do something about the price of gasoline at the pump. 470 is what we're stuck with right now, and I guess that's going to be good, especially if the guys over at the legislature are in a position to be able to extend the holiday on some of the taxes and fees that go into that. Keep an eye on that. I don't know when they're going to be voting. My guess is it will be in the dark parts of Friday night. So keep an eye on their YouTube channel. 7:23 in the morning. Real Joe, Bitcoin number
17,749.
No way, Palau.
Yes way.
17,000 what?
Let's go to Aruba, Jamaica.
Go to the Bahamas, and because we got to pick up for that guy that the feds just arrested out in the Bahamas, the FTX dude, who finally. Well, I mean, he was getting ready. I want to say to turn himself in, wasn't he?
He was going to run, Ray.
Maybe not.
No. What do you think? What do you suppose is going to happen to this guy? They're going to try to make another example of him?
No, they'll make an example of him.
I mean, it's like serious sort of money.
They'll get him on a smaller charge and let him go, and nothing will, because the people that he gave the money to are still in power.
So the question that I have is how does you knew me when I was 30 years old. You wouldn't trust me to hold your wallet for 10 minutes. How is it possible that this still? How is it possible that the 30-year-old guy looks like he should be working as a barista somewhere, finds himself in charge of a company like FTX?
If you got money, well, I mean, he's smart and he knows crypto. So, I mean, if you talk that game and you understand what you're talking about and you grease the right palms along the way and you do the things you need to do, you can be a crypto star tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not the only one. This crypto industry is full of people who were yesterday were doing the Starbucks number, and today they're a crypto executive. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, and some of these guys got involved in crypto when it was all a bull run. Right? I mean, everybody was making money in crypto.
Couldn't make a mistake.
Couldn't make a mistake. Didn't matter what coin you went, it was going north. Yeah. And so he made a lot of money, and I mean, he made millions and millions, and then he leveraged that into the right people, and all of a sudden you own a big exchange.
Yeah, well, but he was still paying all of his bills and living large off other people's money.
Yeah,
significantly. 7:25, Jerry Roberts in the studio. Later on, Congressman Moylan's going to be joining us, and something we're always looking for something to be concerned about with our kids. How much screen time do you have with Ruckus? I mean, when he's like when you're like, okay, son, here's the iPad. Or here's the phone. Do you do that with him?
2-3 hours.
2 or 3 hours?
Yeah.
There's alarming numbers now coming out from families that have got their kids playing a game called Fortnite. Are you familiar with?
Yeah.
That's old.
It's old, yeah.
Well, but the kids are still playing it, and
Roblox, too.
They're saying that one of the things about this Fortnite, this version of it, is that they've built in more satisfying things. More habit forming, more dopamine and endorphin generating gizmos in Fortnite, and it has got kids foregoing everything, eating, showering, and you know how important it is for especially little boys to get a shower every once in a while. I'll read you the story, and it's coming at me in a couple of different directions, so it must be one of those things that everybody is on. Right now, we got to jump into not news and headlines. We got to jump into Jerry Roberts and this morning's Extra Point, brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank.
Today, some fundamental advice that you can teach to your kids that will serve them for a lifetime. We'll have it for you next on the Extra Point.
Fly even higher and get to your destination with the United Credit Card from First Hawaiian Bank. You can earn 40,000 miles with $2,000 worth of spending within the first 3 months. That's 40,000 reasons to get on board with the First Hawaiian Bank United Credit Card. It all starts with yes. Certain restrictions apply. To learn more about this offer, visit any First Hawaiian Bank branch or go to fhb.com/United.
Half a day, this is Honey. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
My mom gave me a certain piece of advice for the first time when I was in the 5th, maybe the 6th grade, and it was repeated many times after that. She said, be careful what you say to people. One day it may come back to bite you. It was simple enough, and I accepted that at face value. That advice turned out to be prophetic for me, as I'm sure it has been for you in your life. A girl in junior high, someone I thought was my friend, asked me if I liked anyone. Me, being the socially dense person I was, told her I did like someone. We'll call that someone Pat, and though she thought she was really pretty. However, she doesn't even know that I exist, and she has a boyfriend. Can you guess what happened next? Right, this friend went straight to Pat and told her. So the next day, Pat sees me walking to my class, comes up all smiles, grabs my arm. Hey, Jerry, how you doing? Well, that was pretty surprising, but I didn't move my arm. Hi, Pat. I'm good. How are you? I was smooth that way. So we walked to class. Unbeknownst to me, a punk named Walter, whom I'd had a little dust-up with once before, was buddies with the boyfriend. After class, the boyfriend showed up at the door of the class with his gang. He ushered Pat out of the room, and then he turned to me and made a hand gesture that told me he thought I was number one, and then said to stay away from his girlfriend or else. So Mom's words came alive. Be careful what you say to people. A quick story. Perhaps you've heard this one. Morris and his wife, Esther, went to the state fair every year. And every year, Morris would say, Esther, I'd like to ride in that helicopter. Esther always replied, I know, Morris, but the helicopter ride is $50. And $50 is $50. So one year, Esther and Morris went to the fair, and Morris said, Esther, I'm 85 years old. If I don't ride that helicopter, I might never get another chance. To this, Esther replied, Morris, the helicopter ride is $50, and $50 is $50. So the pilot overheard the couple and said, folks, I'll make you a deal. I'll take both of you up for a ride, and if you can stay quiet for the entire ride and not say a word, I won't charge you. But if you say one word, it's $50. So Morris and Esther agreed. Up they went. The pilot did all kinds of fancy maneuvers, but not a word was heard. He did his daredevil tricks over and over again, still not a word. When they landed, the pilot turned to Morris and said, I can't believe it. I did everything I could to get you to yell, but you didn't. I'm super impressed. And Morris replied, well, to tell you the truth, I almost said something when Esther fell out, but you know, $50 is $50. Be careful what you say to people. One day, your words may come back to bite you. That's the extra point. Be responsible and make something good happen today. For 93.3, The Ray Gibson Show and First Hawaiian Bank, I'm Jerry Roberts.
Yeah, I've been in this game long enough to know you don't step on another man's punchline. News now being brought to you by the guys over at Burger King. Get your hands on the new Italian Royal Crispy Chicken, available for a limited time. Super American Circus Winterland tickets for the kids are also available, so get those while you are there. News here also being brought to you by the hardworking folks at Half a Day Realty. Lots to think about: buying, selling, managing properties. Maybe they can do that for you. Call them and find out what the options are. 588-4232. That's 588-4232. Or email them. They'll answer them at halfadayrealty@gmail.com. Now with news and information and all of that stuff, here comes Donna D. Donna, what happened?
The Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce has expressed disappointment in the Heartbeat Act being moved to the voting file. The Women's Chamber was one of many groups that strongly urged lawmakers not to act on the bill because boundaries are not clearly defined. The group believes the legislation requires a lot more discussion. A vote is expected at the conclusion of this week's legislative session. Governor Lulian Guerrero is expected to veto any abortion ban legislation. And legislation to ban open burning and open detonation of hazardous waste on Guam is a step closer to being passed by lawmakers. Senator Sabina Perez's amended version of Bill 360 advanced to the voting file without objection. Perez says the amended bill wouldn't end open detonation outright, but includes exception to allow open detonation of World War II unexploded ordnance until a safer alternative is identified and available to Guam. And UOG is developing a Chamorro language and culture researcher training program after receiving an award of $1.13 million from the Federal Administration for Native Americans. Program participants will receive training in linguistic theory and analysis and engage in a cultural knowledge documentation project. For more information about signing up for the training program, call 735-2878. And those are your local headlines. Back to Ray.
Wait. I'm writing a message to Rachel Arenas. What? It's a welcome to Guam. This is welcome to Guam from The Point. So this is simple. Just kind of a, I do that with, I'm doing, it's my one-man obligation to continue to encourage travel from Asian countries, i.e. Korea, i.e. Japan. So whenever I see somebody on Instagram that has got something that is clearly a picture taken from Guam, something up and down Tumon, maybe the pink building down there or the Emerald Valley down over at the port, I always say, thank you for coming to Guam. Thank you for choosing Guam. Nothing like, hey, next time you're in town, call me up. I'll take you to Moses or something like that. Just welcome to Guam. And when you type in Guam, sometimes it gives you the Guam flag. So throw that in there, a couple of exclamation points. And 99% of the time, they write back to me and say, thank you, loved your island, we'll come back again soon. And tell my friends. It's 7:34. You can do the same thing. Doesn't cost you anything to be gracious. 7:34 in the morning. We'll take a look at what's going on with, traffic and more on the way as the program continues.
Check out the newest hydro and garden center to hit Guam, Crop King Hydro. We have a huge selection of plant nutrients, soils, hydroponic mediums, organic pest control pumps, plant support, tools, and so much more. Call 635-4769. 635-GROW. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6 at the Dededo Satina Mall, right across from Payless and Paradise Fitness. For whatever you grow, think Crop King Hydro. Crop King Hydro.
It's not an accident to live a healthy, long life. It's a choice. The food you eat, the water you drink, the air you breathe. A deep, restful sleep along with exercise will put you on a good path to live a healthier, longer life. At NutriWay Systems, we choose to help people find the right solutions to live a longer, healthier life. Make the right choice. NutriWay Systems. Come by our office today. We are located on the second floor of the Daily Plaza in Dededo, or give us a call at 671-864-7867.
Happy holidays, Guam. From now through January 13th, the Guam Visitors Bureau is giving you a chance to win $150 in cash just by sharing your Christmas spirit. Each week, GVB will announce the theme of the week, so take your best photo or video and upload to visitguam.com/Instaguam to enter for a chance to win $150 in cash. Winners will be announced every Friday. Brought to you by GVB, making Guam a better place to celebrate the season of giving.
7:36. So I write Rachel, welcome to Guam from The Point.
No.
And immediately she sends back a response.
It's a bot. I knew it.
You guys shut up. That's not funny. Mula sa aking puso, maraming salamat, Ray, sa pagbibigay ng inyong oras para kami ay makausap. Which and so for the instant translation, we go to Donna D. Come on. I was really struggling with the pagbigay thing. There's a pagbibigay.
Something about a love story beginning.
Yeah.
Sarita.
Yeah.
She said she wants a date.
Wants a date.
Wait a second. Hold on. There's something went down the wrong pipe here. Anyway, but I got an immediate response from her. I thought that was pretty cool. All right, so I'll send her later on a link to this portion of the program because this could be the high point of everybody's week. We'll get 20,000 Filipino OFWs on Guam, and I might finally get, even though I don't have any children in the house, I might finally get around to finally getting a yaya, somebody to man, that's so great. So wake up in the morning, there's already coffee and there's already corned beef with garlic rice.
Oh, wow.
Sorry. It does sound good, actually, doesn't it? It's 7:37 on the Ray Gibson Show. What was I supposed to be doing? Was
traffic?
Okay, here's I wasn't sure. Sorry, man. Distracted. What can I say?
You got really excited there, Ray.
What can I say? Ugly red like the traffic here. We got ugly traffic, southbound Marine Corps Drive, as usual. Looking at traffic on Letse Matete, and it doesn't look any better over there. Everybody trying to figure out which way to get out. And apparently, we had a big accident up on Bello yesterday with traffic in both directions. That just either stopped or slowed down significantly through there. And I think people are just wanting to avoid that area. The Route 16 from Camp Leon Guerrero all the way to 8, 10, and 16. Fairly clear right now, but once you get to the tri-intersection, it will be busy in all three directions, including the Wendy's side, the Happy Mart side, and the Golden Sea side. 10 and 15, that intersection starting to busy up over by the church and the mayor's office. And then the rest of it looks dogging out traffic on Route 8. A little bit of traffic on 4 slowing you down. Getting into the downtown Hagetya area. Nothing major. Southbound Marine Corps Drive clear down to Big Navy in Sumai. You got something else happening on the roadways, maybe an accident, stalled vehicles. Let me know about it. 888-8255. Or send me pictures if you've got them. 797-8255. At 7:38, I'll be right back.
Guam Regional Medical City is the center of excellence for general and minimally invasive surgeries like colonoscopy, dialysis and vascular access, gallbladder, skin and soft tissue, gastrointestinal tract, hernia repair, spleen, select liver and pancreas diseases, upper endoscopy, and more. Schedule your appointment with GRMC today by calling 671-633-GRMC. That's 671-633-4762. For more information, visit us at grmc.gu.
Santa's coming and things are looking up. Bank Pacific has rolled out Rudolph's favorite My Christmas loan with an annual percentage interest rate as low as 5.99% and up to $50,000. And with the Bank Pacific contactless Visa debit card, you can have the flexibility of using your money when you want to, where you want to. My Christmas loan, contactless Visa debit card. Let's make Christmas merrier. Member FDIC, equal opportunity lender. Credit conditions apply. Merry Christmas from Bank Pacific.
Philippine Congressional Kili Kili check. Stop it. Stop now. Stop. You're just putting these thoughts into my head. What's going on? In 20 minutes, it'll be 8 o'clock in the morning. Congressman Jim Moylan, before too much longer. But a couple of things I wanted to share with you between now and the top of the hour. A story out of NPR. Easy now. I know some of you that's triggering language. What do you mean, NPR? What? This one out of Hawaii. It's a story about Guam by a guy named Derek Malama. Who wrote, and I think some of this is based on stories that have already been published here. Guam is expected to be one of the top destinations for visitors from Japan for the holiday season. Oh, I know I've heard this before. I told you this a week and a half ago. The companies, the tourist companies in Japan have looked at all of the different destinations for which people have bought or are buying tickets for, and Guam comes in at number 5 on that list. Seoul and Busan in South Korea are number 1 and number 3 respectively, but Guam in the top 5. We beat we beat Paris, right? Did we beat Hawaii?
Yeah, we did.
We beat Hawaii too. And meanwhile, more South Korean visitors have been flying to the island as well. By the end of the year, may it be a busy one for Guam's tourism business. This is good news if you can find the employees to take care of these people. Members of the GVB gathered for their quarterly meeting last week. GVB Pres Carl Gutierrez said that since the Bureau last met in September, he'd been working to promote Guam to travelers in Japan. JTB estimates about 150,000 travelers will be visiting Guam from December 23rd to January 3rd, 7.5 times the amount of last year's visitors during that same time period. The Daily Post reports Guam is one of Japan's top travel destinations, ATM at the moment, despite the yen's weak exchange rate to the dollar. GVB later next year will be using social media to target 20 to 34-year-olds in Japan who identify themselves as loving to travel. GVB also announced partnerships with 2 Korean universities for the purpose of promoting medical and education tourism. A spokesperson said there will be more flights coming from Korea to Guam every month through February. The expected arrivals show a rise not only in visitors from Korea, but also a rise of visitors in total. If you were looking for a reason to be bullish about the end of this year, maybe a little bit of first quarter numbers that are going to be sweet, There it is. That's what we've got. That's where the bread and butter is for a lot of businesses down in Tumon and businesses obviously associated with them. And it is possible that that these could be brighter days. So we just got to make sure that we take care of these people, show them a good time, show them what a clean and litter-free island our place can be. And for God's sakes, can we open up the Inarahan pools again?
So beautiful.
Is it time?
I hope so,
I don't know
man.
what they're waiting for.
The
The
ribbon
last time we
cutting's
talked to
coming soon after the inauguration, Ray.
After the we're gonna have to wait through all of that stuff. Well, it's just you think about some of these highlights and for heaven's sake, somebody go and clean up that little makeout spot up on the way up to Nimitz Hill. Might be a few other places that need some work. And who does this? I'm driving home yesterday. This is me ranting. Just stand by for a momentary rant. Driving home yesterday, and I like to go home by way of the Home Depot and then up through Teason. And now I'm always generally annoyed when I drive through there anyway. Just the kind of slummy view that you get when you're out there. I mean, I know there's people doing the best that they can, but still in all, those places and the people that own them really need to work on cleaning up and sprucing up and making it nice because people see them, number one. And so I'm driving through there, and there is a car pulled over on the side. And I thought, is that going to be there forever? And it's got to look like it will be. It's got to look like somebody smashed the front windshield on it.
No.
Yeah. And I got a feeling that in the next day or two, it will be minus tires, and then the trunk is going to be open, and the hood is going to be open, and all of the just people are going to go in and just slowly suck little tiny bits and pieces out of this thing before anybody does something about it. I no longer have any confidence that there's anybody out there that when a vehicle gets abandoned on the side of the road will leap to action and do something about it, even though it is kind of an encroachment issue in that section. So maybe we're not going to get action from the usual suspects around here. Maybe it'll be the guys that run the airport and the airport police up there, because they seem to be a little bit more on the ball sometimes than other parts of the organization. At any rate, so that's one of the big stories still to come. A story about how much time your kids might be spending too much time with in front of the screens. Now, I'm certainly not going to get lectury about this, because anybody knows me knows I am surrounded by screens. Got an iPhone over here, got my iPad over there, got the laptop working, and try to convince myself, no, it's really work. It's really work. I need to spend time on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. I need that for work purposes, and it alarmed me a little bit that how much time I was spending on those kinds of things. But I'm a 60-year-old guy. What's happening with the kids? Let me give you 3 initials that should concern you. OCD. Details are on the way. 7:45 right now, and there's a guy that's compulsive about serving the people of Guam. It's Congressman Jim Moylan.
Hey, good morning, Ray.
Dude, I was all ready. I said I was going to get popcorn and maybe make a couple of sandwiches and pop open a couple of cold beers and put my feet up on the coffee table and watch you on Candid. But you moved it.
We moved it. Yes. It ended up session had some changes there, so we did reschedule it with Troy. So we will have our interview, but just not at.
So with regard to session, and frankly, I'm only paying attention to when it comes to be time to vote, because I want to see how everybody is going to flip and flop between now and Sine Die. But there's a timing thing that you guys are worried about. There's the you're trying to get around the possibility of a pocket veto, right?
Right. So especially, I think the main concern is the heartbeat bill.
Uh-huh.
9 votes to move that to third reading for the voting. So that made it there. But we know the governor's position. So there's expected a veto on that. Then we have so many days to come back to override before session is over, and to give the governor time to review that bill as well. So yes, there is timing issues. And unfortunately, this bill, the timing of this bill is also it could have been better, right? We've had this discussion way ahead.
Well, Cousin Troy and I were talking about that in the last hour, taking a look at everything that is in front of the legislature, and so all the real dynamic stuff. I'm not maybe tectonic is too strong a word, but I mean there's a whole lot of moving parts in legislation that now the 36th Guam legislature is finally dealing with. And these are stories that and measures that we've been talking about since inauguration 2 years ago.
Right. And as we've seen in the 35th and the 36th, this is a Democrat-controlled legislature body with a Democrat in the executive office. So the priorities are set by the committee chairs and who's in charge. The minority has, of course, we raised our voice as best we could, but this is the result that has happened. So hopefully in the 37th, we'll see the priorities that are could be different, right, with a new set of folks that come on in this time.
If for no other reason, we'll have somebody like Tom Fisher in there, who I think is might be a little bit of a hell raiser. I'd kind of like to get him. I'd kind of like to get him standing up every once in a while at the legislature and saying, really, this is the stuff that we're going to be talking about? We've got all kinds of serious problems that the people of Guam are putting up with on a daily basis, and we're going to be talking about, well, just figure out what lefty idea, cockamamie youth Congress ideas are going to be working through the 37th Guam legislature. And I just hope that between him and Chris Barnett and Therese Terlahi, that they're able to get up and say, no, we really need to focus now on the problems that the people are having. And I think it's going to be challenging for a lot of people in 2023, no matter how many Japanese tourists are going to be coming to Guam. Now, you're back from Washington, D.C. You're all done with your boot camps?
I'm done with the boot camp. Yes, 2 weeks of that was completed. We need to be there by the 3rd for the official swearing in for the inauguration. So we're waiting on further details to come out, but so far we know it's going to be that morning around 10:30 on the 3rd for us to receive our certificate that we are officially now no longer delegate-elect, but delegate for Guam.
So you're going to be, what you're saying is you're going to be moving pretty fast after New Year's.
Very fast, right? Following week is we start our sessions too, so we had to look at the agendas as well. So we're booked already. We have a tentative schedule of the days that we need to be in D.C. for sessions and for caucus and for meetings.
You're flying into maybe the worst weather of the year, right?
Yes, and when I was at Rotary of Tumon Bay Club yesterday afternoon, the word was get your long johns ready. Put on.
A significant chunk of the United States is under a weather advisory. Like right now, there's coast-to-coast snow flurries and storms that are affecting the United States, a huge swath, the Sierra Nevada mountains in California, all the way through the northern plains in the Midwest and towards the east coast of the eastern border of the United States of America. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting trip for anybody to try to make around this time of year. I'm glad that you have to do it. Now, the newspaper also makes reference to your goals, desires, and dreams to be on the what is it, the Armed Services Committee. Is that a slam dunk? I mean, just is it one of those things where you can say, this is where I'd like to be, and then the caucus will say, okay, Jimmy, go ahead, you've got a seat?
Slam dunk, no, but we're pushing it like until the last throw of in the fourth down or the final inning, and I see the goal line, but we still got to do the right thing and continue to push it. We made the correct contacts. We shook the right hands. We sold ourselves over there. So we did what we were supposed to, just like when we were campaigning for the position. Then we campaigned for the committees. And through help of some senior council or Congress folks there, they were able to put their arms around me for a bit, but it will come down to the final thing. I'm competing against 74 newcomers who may want similar positions, but also the senior folks, over 400 of them, who are moving up. But the good part is that we are all Republicans, and the slots are available now for more Republicans. So,
well, there's a legacy thing to this as well. I mean, we've been a part of the Armed Services Committee since AB Juan Pat is in Congress.
Yeah, that's right. And at the same time, we said, hey, come on over to Guam, especially during the months of winter. and they happy folks that would want to come and visit.
Yeah, the Codells. Marjorie Taylor Greene needs to come to Guam, bro.
Yeah, yes, I did shake her hand.
Yeah,
I had a picture with her as well. Yes.
You just tell her the dust up with Mike was I don't know. I think in the telling of the story she wasn't there when Mike and members of the Guard came by a couple of years ago, and she felt like it was some kind of an affront. You got to let her know that Mike's not like that, Guam's not like that, and maybe when it's time for Codell, I think it would be interesting to see her come out here and understand the nature of life out in the U.S. territory of Guam.
Yes, and I think she'll change her opinion and probably be a good advocate for the island and hopefully get us more resources that we could use. So that's the goal.
Have you put together a working team between Guam, Murkowski out in Alaska, folks in Hawaii, et cetera, to have a long look at the Jones Act in this term of Congress?
Right. There's different measures that we were looking at and ways that we can resolve that too. So the discussion has begun as well, and also with the help of American Samoa and NMI too, and Puerto Rico as well. The territory is coming together to unite for that purpose. Our voice will be stronger, and these folks are more senior than I am and have greater influence on the senior Congress folks too. So developing that friendship, those discussions have started. And now it's just the timing, right, and getting us over there and prioritizing different things. So looking forward.
There's an observation that I made, and flip back over to local concerns here, and I thought it was very interesting and mentioned it on the air yesterday that the new governor, Green, in Hawaii, which is as blue as it gets, has now come out and seems to apparently be agreeing with people like you and I about the business privilege taxes, GRTs, any kind of excise on groceries and medicine. And he says that will be among the first things that he does as incoming governor of the state of Hawaii is to have a tax holiday on groceries and medicine. And I'm looking at that going, gee, I hope that spreads around like a cold in the family, because it seems to me that there has been a lot of opposition from this Democrat administration and other Democrats in the legislature to do anything about that. And I think it's one of those measures that would provide immediate relief to the taxpayers around here, immediate relief to anybody that needs to go out and, I don't know, buy food and medicine to put on the table and to keep themselves healthy. I hope that spreads around like a little Democratic cold in the family.
Yes. Yes, in Congress, that's a discussion as well, reducing government size, sure, and bringing down costs and fighting inflation, and likewise for Guam, too. I mentioned that we were as committee as a whole yesterday on one of the bills being discussed, and some of the concerns is this pot of gold, but this amount of money now may dry up of what we're seeing coming in above and beyond what we projected. It is not going to last much longer. So I said, so our solution should be looking at the 5% going back to 4%. If we really want to do some solving, and maybe just like you said, maybe we just do it on food, maybe we just do it on medicine, but let's show some relief. So
look, it was immediate and recognizable when we did this on gasoline. The gas companies could have kept the prices where they already were and said, hey, thanks very much for the break on the taxes, and walked away from it. But they did as they were supposed to do. The big worry, quote, worry among the lefties is that they will roll back or eliminate the business privilege tax on food and medicines, but the prices will remain the same. And the reason why they think that way is because many of them have never operated a business before and had to face real competition for customers. So trust me, when there's an opportunity to lower the prices, they'll come down. 7:56 in the morning. Jim, I appreciate your time. I know how busy you are. So when are you going to be on Candid?
We rescheduled here. I know it's upcoming interview with Troy. What is today?
Was it Thursday? Did he say it was going to be Thursday sometime?
I show it today at 11:30.
Well, yeah, but you rescheduled.
Okay.
Bobby. Go find Bobby. Just let Bobby handle it. Yeah, Bobby knows he just didn't change your calendar yet.
Okay. I know we're going to have it. That's for sure. But yes.
So what are you going to ask Troy? Wouldn't it be fun if we just did that? Just flip the script and do. Okay, I'm going to interview you, Troy. These are some of the questions that I'd like to ask you. Well, you work on that. I'll talk to you pretty soon. And do me a favor, find somebody over at Moylan's and tell them to bang on a door over at the PDN, the Associated Business, and tell them to get the PDNs back in the streets.
There you go. Yeah, we love voting that newspaper.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
You got to just got to print it now. It's got to put it on some kind of paper and have it at the gas station. Anyway, that's just me. I'll talk to you pretty soon. You have a great day.
Yes.
All right, buddy. Congressman Jim Moylan, you can almost hear the excitement in his voice, getting ready to get out to Washington D.C. and unwrap some of the great things that are going to be happening around here. As soon as you brace through the cold, as I said, if you're getting on an airplane right now and headed towards the U.S. mainland, just FYI. It's cold, and it's snowing, and there's blizzardy time out there all across the country. We're watching storms moving through the, northern plains and Midwest, through Montana, Colorado, Nebraska, South Dakota. And I know what you're thinking. Yeah, but I'm not going to Montana, Colorado, Nebraska, or South Dakota. What's the weather report from the kid in Colorado? Has he written to you?
30s.
Dad, is it?
Sometimes,
it's
yeah,
not
it's
terrible.
snowing here and there.
Right, it's not terrible. It's not
they have winter all the way to March over there.
Throwing furniture in the fireplace and eating wallpaper. Okay, I got it. Now earlier I was talking about, I don't know if I've got enough time here to do this, but I'm going to get a start on this. If you've got kids, and since they have been available, the great pacifier is no longer the whoopee that goes in the mouth. It's an iPad. How many times you've been in a restaurant and you see kids acting up, mom pulls out the iPad, and there it is, blessed silent relief for everybody. Unless the kid is playing with the thing up. Can we also invest in earbuds? Turn it down or earbuds at the table. Thank you very much. Video game developers have a clear incentive to make their products as enjoyable as possible to compel consumers to keep playing. A group of Canadian parents, however, believe that one company has taken the concept too far. Epic Games and their Fortnite, an addictive product that has caused kids, according to the story, to abandon their responsibilities, i.e. showering. You've seen these logos on the screen. I.e. showering, sleeping, and eating in favor of spending all of their time playing the game. A lawyer representing Epic says there's nothing to this. And compares the game developer. Wait a second. No, the lawyer backing him up, the Canadian parent says this is just like the tobacco companies marketing cigarettes to kids. Anybody remember Joe Camel? Yeah. Epic Games says we plan to fight this in court. We believe the evidence will show that this case is meritless, which is incidentally what the tobacco companies were saying when they were fighting all of those cases. It's really turning into some trouble. That's just the pre-ramble on this particular story. I've got it from another one of my sources that says, and this might be the most alarming thing, is because of everything that's happened in COVID-19 land, et cetera, and all of the rules and regulations foisted upon us by the branch COVIDians. In addition to that, we've got kids spending far too much time on the screen, and there has been a marked rise in OCD behavior. You know what that is, right? You know what that is, right? It's 8 o'clock. Pega's Best is The Point. Here's Fox News.
Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden just signing the Respect for Marriage Act into law. It requires states to recognize all marriages legal at the time they're performed, including same-sex and interracial marriages.
Marriage is a simple proposition. Who do you love? And will you be loyal to that person you love? It's not more complicated than that.
The president also says racism, anti-Semitism, homophobia, and transphobia are all connected, and that the new law strikes a blow against hate in all its forms. Federal prosecutors call it one of the biggest financial frauds in American history, detailing the indictment of Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of collapsed cryptocurrency exchange FTX.
4 of the 8 charges include wire fraud. The others include commodities fraud, money laundering, and a violation of campaigns' finance laws. Authorities say he misused customer funds to get rich, line his pockets, and also donate tens of millions of dollars in political contributions to buy influence in Washington, D.C. and beyond.
Fox's David Spunt, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle grilling the new court-appointed CEO of FTX, John Ray, at a House hearing where Bankman-Fried had been scheduled to appear virtually today. Ray telling lawmakers his review is still in the preliminary stages, but that he's already found a lot wrong, including few rules, a lack of record-keeping about the way customer funds were being used.
So this is just plain old embezzlement.
During interviews, Bankman-Fried has denied trying to commit fraud, and appearing in court in the Bahamas today signaled he he intends to fight extradition. A magistrate judge there has just denied bail, ruling he should be sent to the Bahamas Department of Corrections unit until February 8th. Half of the World Cup final is set. Argentina will play for the title after beating Croatia 3-0. They'll face either defending champs France or Morocco, who play tomorrow. America is listening to Fox News.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,100 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 671-475-4545, Upper Tumon 671-647-5626, or in Dededo 671-633-4473.
JV International Safety Equipment has it all for you. Fall protection, rain gear, traffic signs, speed bumps, custom signs and banners, PPEs, fire extinguishers, plus more. Check them out on Facebook at JV International Safety Equipment Company or visit their website, www.jvisec.com. JV International Safety Equipment, Guam's leader in occupational and environmental safety equipment. Call 688-9524. JV International Safety Equipment, located in Harmon Industrial Park.
A first for scientists, achieving what the U.S. government is hailing as a milestone.
How many people can say we made history? Well, these scientists at Lawrence Livermore have, for the first time, generated energy, not from splitting atoms, but combining them. Fusion is often called the holy grail of energy sources. It's low risk, affordable, unlimited, and carbon-free, and it does not produce radioactive waste. So 2 weeks ago, scientists focused 192 lasers on a capsule about the size of a BB. And for the first time, after decades of trying, the atoms began to replicate, producing more energy than the lasers consume.
Fox's William Lajeunesse. The Energy Department says this could one day unlock a new source of clean energy, though a commercial reactor is still years away. More states getting hammered by the same storm that dumped feet of snow in the Sierra Nevada, bringing blizzard-like conditions to much of the central U.S. while hitting other areas, including Oklahoma and Texas, with severe thunderstorms, including tornadoes. You may not know his name, but his music may ring a bell.
The composer for many of David Lynch's projects for both film and TV, Angelo Badalamenti, has died of natural causes. He was 85 years old. Badalamenti grew up in Brooklyn listening to Italian opera and went on to earn a bachelor and master's degree from the Manhattan School of Music. His career in entertainment was launched when something he wrote landed him on PBS, where he wrote songs for Nina Simone and Nancy Wilson. But his big break came in 1986 when he was asked to help Isabella Rossellini sing Blue Velvet. Lynch listened to the recording of them, called it Peachy Keen, and their collaboration was born. The composer worked on Lynch's Twin Peaks and Mulholland Drive as well. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
Stocks finish higher, but well off the session highs after an encouraging inflation report. The Dow up 103 points on the day. The NASDAQ up more than 1%. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Happy holidays, Guam. From now through January 13th, the Guam Visitors Bureau is giving you a chance to win $150 in cash just by sharing your Christmas spirit. Each week, GVB will announce the theme of the week, so take your best photo or video and upload to visitguam.com/Instaguam to enter for a chance to win $150 in cash. Winners will be announced every Friday. Brought to you by GVB, making Guam a better place to celebrate the season of giving.
Fly even higher and get to your destination with the United Credit Card from First Hawaiian Bank. You can earn 40,000 miles with $2,000 worth of spending within the first 3 months. That's 40,000 reasons to get on board with the First Hawaiian Bank United Credit Card. It all starts with yes. Certain restrictions apply. To learn more about this offer, visit any First Hawaiian Bank branch or go to fhb.com/United.
Pacific Points is turning 2 years, and we're giving away 2 million points. Imagine what you could do when you went up to 2 years worth of free Shell fuel, Foodies products, or rebates on your IT&E bill. Receive entries into our monthly and grand prize drawings when you sign up for Pacific Points. Earn and redeem points at Shell, Foodies, and IT&E when you refer your friends, and more. Go to PacificPoints.com for details and see more ways to enter. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Your local news is brought to you by Nambo Insurance. Skip the line, pay online. It's fast, easy, and secure. Visit Nambo.com for more information.
Half a day, it's 8:06. I'm Donna De Jesus with a look at your local news on The Point. 30-year-old Eugenio Jackie Sonas is wanted by police in connection to multiple robberies reported in Anigua, Harmon, and Jigo. His photo and details are on a flyer released by GPD. Sonas is known to go to game rooms in Harmon and Tamuning and was last seen along Goro Elena Street in Jigo. Authorities say he is armed and dangerous. If seen, call police right away and do not approach. Meanwhile, 29-year-old Ryan J. Cruz has been charged in 2 game room robberies. Police were called to the Speed game room on November 28, where an employee reported a player took $1,300 from the register. On December 8, police were called to the Winster 2 game room, where an employee said a customer hit him in the face and took a bag of cash. On Monday, police were at a different game room when they saw a man who matched the description of the suspect. Cruz said he and a friend used an L-shaped picture frame painted black to look like a gun to point it at the cashier at the Speed game room. At Winster 2, Cruz told police he used an airsoft gun, which was found in the car from the parking lot of the 3rd game room. Cruz was charged with 2 counts of robbery and 1 count of theft. More news after this.
Go green, go hybrid. Go to Nanbo Insurance, and your next power bill is on us. Insure your hybrid car at Nanbo and get up to $350 towards your next power bill. That's instant savings for keeping our island clean and green. Nanbo has been providing Guam with over 50 years of reliable and affordable auto insurance. At Nanbo, it pays to go green. Terms and conditions apply. Visit nanbo.com or call 477-9754 for details.
Senator Jim Moylan will be sworn in as Guam's next congressman in a few weeks, and he says a lack of awareness about Guam is the reason the island is sometimes omitted or restricted from federal programs. At a Rotary Club of Tumon Bay meeting, Moylan said he doesn't think it's discrimination, but a matter of no knowledge about the territories. He shares that during the new member registration for Congress, he was asked how he speaks English so well. Moylan says his plan is to sell Guam and make sure to be outspoken and loud enough to make a mark. He will look for opportunities in the many bills introduced by Congress to find ways to help the island and hopes to be selected to serve on the Armed Services Committee or the Homeland Security Committee because of the growing military presence on island. Moylan says the threat of China and North Korea and the protection of Taiwan and the Indo-Pacific and the Marines coming to Guam and the Army building up their missile force on Guam means a lot to the nation. And the Center for Island Sustainability and Guam Green Growth have unveiled 2 new community calendars yesterday, one focusing on growing your own food and the other on fishing. Director Dr. Austin Shelton says the Tide Chart calendar shows how to catch local fish. He adds that residents can learn how to cultivate a backyard garden or help community gardens and bring more local food to families. The 2 calendars will also be given out to students in local schools, offering the youth a chance to learn about gardening as well as sustainable fishing on Guam. Free growers and Tide Chart calendars are available at the G3 Makerspace Hub in the Chamorro Village or at UOG's Sea Grant office. The Tide Chart calendar will also be available in various fishing shops. And those are your top stories. Now back to Ray with weather.
I think if you spend more than $50 at ABC store, they'll give you a calendar, and you get to choose whether you want it to be a calendar of guys in the swimsuits or girls in bikinis. So you get kind of a choice, and then like if you like save your receipts for a long time, you can get like T-shirts and beach towels and stuff.
Do you ever really save those receipts?
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
Oh
dude,
I
got coffee cups, man. I get because I'm at the ABC store all the time. No, never throw those away. You save those things.
I just throw.
No, because you can get stuff. Like you can do save up enough receipts. That's your Christmas shopping. What did I get you? I got you a I Love Guam coffee cup. They have that there, you know. And like I said, those calendars, they're all pretty Hawaiian boys or Polynesian boys.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty Hawaiian and Polynesian girls. I don't think there's like local chicks in them that we know. But you know, there's a lot of people talking about calendars. I got my calendar for 2023 from the Japanese consulate recently. And the only thing now I need is for somebody from the Japanese consulate to come over at the beginning of the month and turn the page, because it's at the other end of my office. And frankly, it's kind of a pain in the butt to get up and walk and turn the page just to look at another month. I've got a calendar on the phone, right? 8:11 in the morning. Ray Gibson Show, and time for our last look at weather here today. Mostly sunny today, mostly sunny tomorrow, mostly sunny on Friday. That's all you need to know. Now, I'm not going to be one of those guys that jeopardizes what could be a brilliant career for you. But can you not hear? Wait, Joe, turn the music down. You know what that is? Shh. That's the beach calling you. That's vitamin C. That's vitamin beach out there. And everybody, you know what? I attribute the fact that I've only gotten COVID once. I attribute that to that fact, to the fact that I haven't been vaccinated or boosted, and I spent a lot of time, as much time as possible, out of doors and at the beach. I think it really makes a difference. And so if you got any opportunity to play hooky today, tomorrow, or Friday, and I'm sure this extends into the weekend, but frankly, it's more fun to play hooky on weekdays. By all means, take advantage of the mostly sunny skies that we've got. You take a look at the area map here, the satellite imagery, and it's going to show there's not a whole lot in the area. There's a little bit of nothing over to the east of us, but you see all those little puffs of pink in there.
Oh, I love that, Ray.
The little puffs of pink that you can see around Guam and the Mariana Islands are patches of dry air. Dry air means cooler air.
Beanie weather.
Yeah, definitely. So check it out. It's still going to be warm, 92 degrees, but it's a dry heat, if you know what I mean. We'll finally get around a chance to say that. Sunset tonight is going to be at 5:55. Hashtag tell the others. There it is. News and weather together on the point.
It's a holiday sale at American Water Tech in Tamuini. Get the Aquaflow or Hydrotech reverse osmosis drinking water system installed for $785. And that includes one free service, a $260 value, and 1 year limited warranty. There's also the Connecticut Home Water Softener System for $2,975. That includes 2 free services, valued at $380, and a 1 year limited warranty. Call American Water Tech at 671-649-2301 or go to their website for more information at www.americanwatertech.com. Sale ends December 30th, 2022.
Hafaday, this is Severina. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
8:13 in the morning, portions of the program brought to you by the guys over at Subway. I told you the other day about going in there and trying that new Subway series. The number 4 is the one that I like. 12 chef-inspired sandwiches are now available on Guam and Saipan. Enjoy a whole new way to Subway. Simply order any Subway series sandwich by name or number, and Subway's sandwich artists will do the rest. At Subway, eat fresh.
The Coconut Wireless is back. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Studio time, 8:14. Ray Gibson Show until it's not going to be anymore. Working all the way till 10 today. But I got a feeling that's tomorrow is not going to be a full working day for me. We're back to, I believe, jury duty is going to be happening. Because as far as I can tell, there's still crime being committed out there.
A little bit out there. Just a little.
Just kind of random couple of guys walking by a store up in Datadoo, and 2 other guys that have been drinking since 4 o'clock in the afternoon out in front of the store. Which I thought was illegal, on-premise, off-premise. So off-premise means you get these little mom-and-pop stores. On-premise is like the restaurant or the bar. Off-premise is, thank you very much for buying the beer. Go away. No, we're not drinking in the parking lot. Not drinking over on the side because we got other customers and they don't want to have to walk around drunks all day long. But apparently that was the case up in Datadoo, and now we've got the victim in Datadoo assault on life support as a result of that. And we got at least one of these 2 assailants, according to the news story here this morning, had actually been in trouble with the police.
No way.
Already. Imagine that. Imagine that, Real Joe. He did not get the message when they let him go that this is an opportunity for you to get right with God. Jaron Wallaby's first arrest, hey, congratulations. His brother was charged in February and charged with assault and family violence, as well as criminal mischief and disorderly conduct. Victim 1 reported to be on life support as of the writing of the magistrate report, according to court documents. So it's possible that might be one of the cases that I get and try to return a true bill on. We'll see. I think there was surveillance and things like that on all of it. Anyway, 8:16 in the morning, Ray Gibson Show, 888-825-5888, TALK is the telephone number. What are we working against this morning? I told you in the last hour about Fortnite. And there are all kinds of games out there, and all kinds of ways that parents are using phones and handheld video game consoles and iPads, whatever, to pacify the children, keep them quiet, and to the degree that it might actually work. Somebody sent me a picture of a baby in a car. And the baby, there was actually already an iPad in there. The kid's not even a year old, but they know the magnetic power of putting it on just anything, really, on YouTube or little kid YouTube. And the kids are just enthralled with the images and will get locked in on it and stay there for hours. Story reads, most parents are instinctively understand that it's simply not healthy to allow their children to gaze at a screen all day. Nevertheless, we've all been inundated by devices from computers to video games to smartphones to tablets. When it comes to breaking down the toll that all of this exposure has on young kids, still lots of research left to do. Experts say, though, they've isolated a few key factors that are worth mentioning. Number one, the rise of OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. You might never have seen this before. I used to work around a guy, and it literally took him 5 minutes when he'd parked the car to finally leave the car. He had OCD, and so he would lock the door, and then he'd try the lock. He'd try the handle, and he'd take a step away from the car and turn around and go back and try the handle again. And he'd walk away for a few, and then he'd go back and unlock the car, try the handle, and the handle, would open the door, release it. So he'd close the door and lock it again with the key, and then try the lock. And even telling the story, I think, might, enrage people that have seen this kind of behavior before. The standing joke in his office was, you think that's bad, you should see him around the Xerox machine. And so it is a real thing. One of the more prevalent side effects associated with increased screen time among preteens is an increased rate of obsessive-compulsive disorder. Kids between 9 and 10 spent just under 4 hours a day looking at screens. This is not for school. This was for, quote, recreation. Over the course of 2 years, preteens were 15% more likely to develop OCD for each additional hour that they played video games. As for watching videos, researchers determined the likelihood of developing OCD increased by 11% for each additional hour. And that's Reels on Instagram. That's Reels on Snapchats and Facebook and all of these other places where nobody's actually creating things, or maybe everybody is creating things, and you get this fear of missing out if you're not on top of today's best TikTok videos. Screen time among adolescents reportedly doubled last year as a result of the pandemic lockdowns. Considering the algorithms and addiction-triggering characteristics of many apps and games, it might not be surprising that kids have a hard time breaking the habit. As the study's lead author explained, children who spend excessive time playing video games report feeling the need to play more and more and being unable to stop despite trying. This vicious circle can lead to intrusive thoughts about video game content, obsessions, compulsions, etc. Parents who are concerned about this trend are encouraged to limit screen time, particularly just before bed. There is a possibility that there might be a feature in whatever it is, your router or something like that. And if you don't, you can buy them. And that is, say, at 7 o'clock at night after dinner, homework's done, okay? No more internet after this. You need to wind your brain down and go to sleep. And I know a lot of parents that have invested in the technology for tools to do exactly that. 20 after 8 o'clock in the morning, Dr. Ron McNinch joins me now. We're talking about OCD. Hey, Doc.
Hey, how's the day, Ray? How's the day, Guam?
So
yeah, I don't have OCD. I have CDO. That's OCD with the letters in the order that they should be in.
It's like asking the question, is anal retentive hyphenated? And people that understand that will get the joke. But It is interesting. I mean, this is one of those things that I don't know that I was ever really overly concerned with the amount of time that the kids were spending on the phones. I mean, Mayumi and I can go, all kinds of time together without picking up the phone, unless it rings. Obviously, you want to see what's going on. But it's not like we're sitting there. And I see this so often now where people are going out and sitting down at fine restaurants and facilities, and they sit down and then they look at their phones for the next 20 minutes until their food arrives.
People just don't talk to each other anymore.
They're messaging. I think they message each other.
Yeah, at the table.
At the table.
Staring across from each other.
Yeah. But you go, okay, well, I mean, that's one thing. It might be bad habits, to be sure, like, picking your nose or spitting or something like that. But it has real-world consequences for these kids. They're talking about, games like Fortnite. Oh, my God, I just realized something. I'm a 60-year-old white guy talking about the dangers of video games, like it's 1980 again. But we know more now than we did then, and they have now built in on purpose habit forming and dopamine triggering devices into these algorithms.
Yeah, no question. And in fact, they're specifically targeting young people. And I don't know if you saw the U.S. Congress hearings about Instagram and Facebook, and that is the Wall Street Journal published an article based on a Facebook study that Instagram's caused suicidal ideation among like 6% of young girls in the United States and 13% of girls in England.
Is that because of the body awareness?
The body shaming and it's these algorithms that infest their reality. To you and me, if somebody said something bad about us on Instagram, it's like, so what? Who cares? It's cartoon characters.
Yeah, who are you?
But for young people, it's very different. They interface and view and interact with this social media world in ways that have no connection at all emotionally to us or to other people in our generation, people over 40 or whatever, but to young people, particularly those under 30 and especially those under 20, we're talking about major social emotional impacts for them. And it's very and if you don't watch for it, you can miss it because it creeps up on you.
So where's the balance? I mean, do you just turn these things off? I mean, so, I get into this mode of panic now, and I'm happy to admit it. I don't know that there's it is necessarily some kind of mental health condition that I have. But if I walk away from the house and I realize, man, I left my phone there, I'm going to turn around and go get it. And I never, I forget all kinds of other stuff at home, but I'm not going to turn around and go get that. What is it? What is the attraction? Or is it a fear of missing out? I think that's a real thing. And I don't know that that's has anything to do with age or other demographics. I think there is a constant churn on your Twitters, your Facebooks, your Snapchats, Instagrams, TikTok, etc. And people feel like that they're going to miss something.
Ray, two things. One, when my students come into my classroom, I literally make them put their phones and their attached tablet computers with social media. I make them put them away, and we monitor them during class to make sure they're not constantly checking. And it's very hard for some of them to do it because they're so addicted to their screens. It's a form of addiction. I swear, it's an incredible addiction. That's one thing. The other thing is I have to explain to them what life was like when you actually had to physically call people from a landline or set up times to meet and interface with people, letting them know where you were and what you were doing because you had no ability to connect with them in the independent world. There was no tethering back to anything. When you and I would ride our bikes and go with our friends out, fishing or whatever, our parents didn't know where we were.
I don't think they cared.
Right.
They were busy working and making a life and trying to put food on the table and lights on in the house. And as far as they were concerned, you're out playing with your friends. Okay, we'll try not to get into too much trouble. Don't get arrested and don't fall down any cliffs or off a tree.
My daughter installed this tracker on my phone. She knows where I am 24/7.
Wow, that's borderline creepy.
Well, no, because she says she cares about me and wants to know where I'm at. and in case I need something or whatever, it's that kind of thing.
Okay,
And,
all right. I don't know. I might know a couple of dads that are doing it in the opposite direction for different reasons. That's also kind of creepy and borderline odd. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
And parents are using the same software to know where their kids are all the time. Helicopter parenting has went to a whole other dimension. It's literally went to, hit the video and let me talk to you at any moment at any given time. That's how much it has created this obsessive need to contact that we never had before.
But what's the point of it? We're going to contact each other so we can get together and stare at our phones.
Exactly.
So it's a weird kind of circular deal that we are dealing with here today. I had to note this morning as I was looking at the Guam Daily Post, because they didn't print the newspaper again, the PDN, that there's a picture of, let me see here, UOG announces new calendars to promote island sustainability. There's 4 people in the picture, and only one of them has a mask on. Can you guess who it might be? Thomas Kreis, and he's literally 6 feet away from everybody. Everybody at this podium, at this stand, and he's got a mask on. And I'm just wondering, is he a member of the COVID patrol? Is he a branch COVIDian?
I can explain that a little bit. He did in the last week or so, and he's openly talked about this, that he did contract COVID, and he just got over COVID, and so he's trying to be, health conscious.
Oh, mindful.
For others.
Okay, so yeah. I'm wearing a
He's
mask.
trying to do it for a positive reason. But I have to say, I need to say I cannot talk about the University of Guam. Nothing in this conversation has discussed the University of Guam. I promise to everyone I will not talk about the University of Guam anymore. Because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Oh, you're special. All right. Well, they've got a couple of calendars that they're going to be working on.
And by the way, I love calendars. I encourage everyone to get calendars, but I will not talk about the University of Guam calendar because I don't want to go into that area again. But calendars are a great way to track time. If you mark your calendar every day, we don't have seasons here, and so calendars are important.
Looking at the. Are you sure? I mean, it's possible that one of these calendars might have just too much green on the cover.
I love the Japanese consulate calendar, the Ikebana calendar from last year. It's on my door right now. I love the aesthetic. The Japanese, there's a whole concept called wabi-sabi in Japan, which means the art of imperfection. Embrace our lack of perfection. I love that. And I love Ikebana for that reason.
Isn't that the one where the people break bowls on purpose and put them together and use gold to fill in the cracks?
Yeah. Wabi-sabi is like, they love imperfect rice bowls, or it just reminds us that life will never be perfect, and perfect is the enemy of good.
Agree. I've heard that many times. Great leadership quote. Listen, I got to let you go. I just realized that while you're talking about obsessive compulsive behavior and spending too much time looking at their phones, I just realized that I was on my phone typing a note to my daughter.
CDO. It's not OCD.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you pretty soon. Have a great day. Closing on 8:29 in the morning. Mark's been on the line. I want to talk about crime and punishment here on Guam. And, we've been having all kinds of just crazy things going on and just rampant, random, violent crime. Good morning.
Hey, man.
I'm here.
Hey, buddy. We're all guilty of too much screen time since the 80s.
What did I have in the 80s? I might have had a Nintendo.
We want to stay connected. Back in the 80s, in order for us to be connected as kids, we went out, we hooked up with our neighbors, the neighborhood, the boys and all that. That's our version. Now, their version now is screen time. That's the reason why they're texting each other from across the table. They want to stay connected because it's not the fear of missing out. It's a fear of not knowing.
Is that let me take it even further than that. Let me further back than the 1980s. You and I came up around the same time. The CB radio craze of the 1970s after Pamela. You remember when that was all the rage? And was that the original version of social media for people to get together and either get involved in conversations or this kind of crazy voyeuristic listening in on conversations?
No, the original. If you want to really think about it hard, is when they stick their head out the window and start yelling at each other from across the way.
Well, I was thinking about Johnny Gerber.
That was our
and
internet.
I think Johnny Gerber was the original social media where people being able to go in and phone in their love story dedications and make requests. And, it's the one, what's my name? RAY GIBSON 3-6 3-6 from MTM.
Yeah, and everyone had to try to figure out, because remember back then we had our own code.
Yes. Yes.
But, hey, on a serious note, I got a question for you.
Try.
You have jury duty tomorrow.
Looks like it.
Okay. You got that yo-yo in the administration.
Well, there's several yo-yos in the administration. Are we talking about a person?
Yeah, a person not in this administration. In the U.S. administration, that for some odd reason makes over $100,000 a year. Can't tell if they're a man or a woman, and has this affinity of taking other people's luggage.
Yeah.
Okay, my question to you, because you've had jury duty for the past 6 months. If this person gets tried and convicted, where the hell do you put him? You can't put them in a women's prison because half the women population in the prison is going to get pregnant. They found that out.
Yes, that has actually happened. You're right. That is a true fact and happens all the time.
Yeah, because he still has his tallywhacker on. Now, if you put
you can have a tallywhacker, but identify as a female apparently.
Yeah, and that's the reason why a couple of the prisoners end up pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you put him in a men's prison. Okay, he's not exactly a man. He's not exactly a woman. There would be the biological experiment to find out if men can get pregnant.
Well, I think that's a foregone conclusion in many American universities that men can, in fact, get pregnant.
Yeah, but you put this person that can't tell whether he's a man or a woman in a male prison, there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to try to figure out if they can prove that right.
Well, I think that kind of thing goes on in prison all the time. Unfortunately, I think that's one of the reasons why people like you and I have always done everything that we can to stay on the straight and narrow and not actually go to prison and find out.
Yeah, but this will be part of a biological or a scientific study.
Yeah. Well, there's too much of that. Too much of that going on. I agree. The interesting thing is they're touting. What is it? Fox News touting Cyndi Lauper showing up at the president and the press conference on the Marriage Protection Act, and I think it is an attempt at an affront to everybody else in the United States of America that isn't into all of this. They brought out one of these non-binary cross-dressers to participate in the signing as well. Very, very interesting what passes for thinking in the White House.
I know, but that's my question of the day. What prison do you put this person in?
Real Joe is going to be working on that. In the meantime, I'm going to let you run because I'm told that my chicken sandwiches from Burger King are here.
All right.
Okay,
take care, buddy.
You know I will. 888-8255-888-TALK. It's 8:34. Stand by one. Somebody sent me this meme. I was looking at somebody, the guy that he's talking about. I can't remember the dude or the girls or whatever the person's name. Somebody sent me a picture of, you remember watching that movie, It?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll just leave that there. But this is kind of funny and bringing things back to a regular demeanor here. If Build Back Better was Christmas and it's a stand and the world's smallest actual Christmas tree and the smallest present underneath it, yeah, I'm beginning to feel that way. It's 8:35. Donna Diaz got our last big look at news and headlines coming your way after these.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,100 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 671-475-4545, Upper Tumon 671-647-5626, or in Dededo 671-633-4473.
OKFC, OKFC, original and crispy. Happy holidays, folks.
Colonel Sanders here. KFC is here to help feed your holiday hunger with our 6 or 12-piece family meal. They both come with your choice of our delicious KFC sides, biscuits, and a personal gift from the Colonel. 2 free glass food containers. Have a safe and happy holiday season from KFC Guam. It's finger licking good.
That's the current time here at the radio station. What is it, Wednesday? Is that where we're headed today? And looking forward to getting together with family and friends tonight. Big Sister Shelley has got another trip around the sun that we are going to be acknowledging, and I can hardly wait for us to get together and nosh on some food and figure out, okay, whose house is Christmas going to be at this year? It's usually one of the conversations that comes up. But there's already a conversation about what we're going to be eating, and my instructions are red rice and potato salad. You know why?
Perfect.
Because you can buy them at KFC, and I don't have to worry. I guess they're worried about me poisoning them, I guess, is the thing. No, I understand. No, I get it. I'll bring, you know what, I'll even bring ice and just complete the theory. 8:37 on the Ray Gibson Show. Time for our last big look at news and headlines here with Donna D. Donna, what happened?
Ronette Chitaro is facing 15 years in prison in connection to a deadly stabbing in Tamuning, but will have to wait a couple of weeks to learn his fate. His sentencing hearing yesterday was delayed until after the Christmas holiday. Chitaro has pleaded guilty to manslaughter. 2 years ago, Arthur Wakuk hit his car and tried to attack Chitaro with a knife. Chitaro admitted he took the knife away and stabbed Wakuk, who later died at the hospital from his injuries. And cyclists and their families are invited to join the MOB Mountain Bike Club for its annual Christmas ride this Friday at 6 o'clock at Paseo. Cyclists will hit the road at 6:30 and do a slow group ride to Adaloop and finish at Skinner Plaza. Cyclists are encouraged to bring candy to pass out at the plaza and to wear Christmas outfits and decorate their bikes. Helmet use is still required by law. For more information, message Rapalui on Facebook. And today's GCC's final week of Asia-Pacific-inspired cuisine. Today's theme is Thai food. It's $10 per plate, cash only. Bottled water is available for $1. Lunch from 11 to 12:30 offers a buffet-style dine-in option. Dinner from 4 to 5:30 is takeout only. Bring a reusable bag to GCC's multipurpose auditorium in Building 400. And that was your last look at local headlines on The Point. Now back to Ray.
Celebrity birthday time.
Oh, is that why you pulled her up? Who's that?
That's Vanessa Hudgens.
Oh, from High School Musical.
Is that, yeah, that's right. That was what she was in.
Yeah.
What is she, 52 now?
No.
She's got to be like 30-something now, right?
Oh, okay.
Maybe 20, late 20s.
Wait. Your number is too high?
Yeah.
Where did you say she was?
38.
Like late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, your numbers are too low.
Really?
Yeah. I'll get it to you here in just a second. I did want to get this up on the screen. What was the name of that movie that she did with The Rock? It was like a Jules Verne send off, where she was. They were in
Fantasy Island thing.
They were in Palau.
Oh, okay.
You remember the?
Yeah.
Hold on,
some kind of fancy movie.
Hold on, looking to see
some weird things
there's.
in
there. Where's the movie? Journey to.
Center of the Earth?
Yeah, Journey to the Center of the Earth 1. And the idea was they were supposed to go to Palau, and the guy that plays Wednesday's dad on the Wednesday show was her dad in the movie, and he was supposed to be Palauan.
Oh, the Latino dude.
Yeah.
Supposed to be Palauan, but he's not Palauan.
No,
it
doesn't even look Palauan, actually. Come to think of it, and so they're going by this random dock, but it ain't a random dock in Palau. But it was still an enjoyable enough movie to watch. Vanessa Hudgens, as you say, from the musical, is celebrating her birthday. She is 34.
Oh.
For those of you that are keeping track of Vanessa Hudgens and her age, Dee Wallace, that's Elliot's mom, Elliot in E.T. Do you remember the extraterrestrial? And she was also in Cujo. Dee Wallace is 74. I'm going to throw out a couple other names, and maybe you know who I'm talking about here. Archie Cow from Chicago PD is 53. Jackson Rathbone from the Twilight movies is 38. But I don't know who Jackson Rathbone is. Is he?
I don't either. I didn't watch that.
Team one or team the other? You didn't watch the Twilight movies?
No.
The Wolf. Oh my God!
You know, I was.
No, and that's in a good way. That's in a good way. I just know. I mean, remember when the thing came out and a bunch of books that they turned into movies, and it was just and it had that girl that always looks like she just ate a lemon.
Oh yeah, her. Whatever.
Yes, her. That one.
The one who only has one look on her face.
Exactly. That one. Yes. For every scene, every emotion that she had to do, that was the look that she gave the camera.
It was playing in the background because somebody else was watching it while I was assembling like a kitty desk. So I wasn't watching. I'm just listening to the dialogue, not knowing what was playing. I'm like, what is this? Why it's so corn? You know?
Yes. Yes, so it's corn, and they ruined the whole idea of a great horror movie. You know, got the vampires versus the werewolves.
A horror movie?
Vampires versus werewolves. And you got this pouty little girl that falls in love with one, but also has the hots for the other. And how you can stretch that into multiple books and movies, I don't know, but they did. Happy birthday to Jackson Rathbone, and again, Vanessa Hudgens turns 34. If you're looking to something to celebrate today, it is Roast Chestnuts Day.
Oh, I was gonna do that yesterday. Good thing I held on.
Where are you finding chestnuts to roast?
I found Mighty Payless.
Get out.
That's your store. You didn't see it?
I never go in there. Well, I do, but it's strategic. There's not like shopping. I go in, and believe it or not, I make a list of what it is that I'm going to be looking for. Top of the list for the next trip into Payless Supermarket is Q-tips for my ears.
Oh, okay.
Because I have a problem with filthy, sweaty ears. But anyway, so they have chestnuts you can buy over at...
Yeah.
And then how do you roast them?
I was just going to put them in the air fryer. Did an open air fryer? No.
Okay.
Use your air fryer.
No, the thought had not even occurred to me. I've got a good air fryer.
You cut X's on them, and then you put them in the air fryer for like 15 minutes.
And they will roast out, and then you open them up, and you've got mushy chestnut seed. It's also Monkey Day.
What kind of monkey? Like, hey, we're the monkeys? Or
there's only one kind of monkey. We're not monkeying around
animal.
here. Yeah.
Monkey
time.
Oh.
Monkey time.
Stale.
No. We used to, every parent should have that time with their children called monkey time, where you're allowed to just kind of goof off and get crazy
and watch old episodes of the Monkees.
Be silly. Yes, monkeys and.
I'm a huge monkey fan.
There was another television show in my head, but I can't remember that, and I can't remember the names of the guys in the Twilight movies. All right, it's 8:43. You're all done with the news and everything?
Yeah.
All right, there's a Italian chicken sandwich waiting for you outside.
Oh, yay.
From the guys from Rudy and the guys over at Begin. Or you have to take it, because I specifically asked them to bring it in before you leave.
Okay, I will. I want to try it.
You're a member of our team, and that means that you get the free food whenever I get it as well. 8:44, Ray Gibson Show. More stuff on the way.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more about WorkPass, visit business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Come try Guam's original Chamorro restaurant with Pica's best 5 years running. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus to naktak, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet hamburgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's half-a-day service at their Hagåtña and Grand Plaza Tumon location. Call their Hagåtña location at 479-2652 for reservations.
I don't know where your brains are headed sometimes. Doña Mila Martinez writes, roasted chestnuts on Guam is eating boiled breadfruit seeds, so you can dodo everywhere you walk.
Oh, nice.
Jose, I understand now why you married her. I get it. I get it now. She's just adventurous with pull-your-finger conversations as all of the rest of us are, and I think that's just wonderful. Had the classic Wild West camp gun pistols, but my dad found some really heavy black metal ones. No idea what happened. But when my uncle visited once, he introduced me to zebra guns, and war never was the same. I think they still sell them. I don't know about zebra guns. You're going to send me a picture or something like that so I can see what's going on. While I got the thing going, let me just see if I can pick up where we left off and say good morning to a bunch of people that have tuned in. Alfred Cabo, Tammy San Augustine, let me see, Jose Tepagu, Jan Guevara, good morning to Joey and Vanji Gokwi, Jennifer Poch-Schnitger, Ali Malakas and Carol Ann Prune, Colin Clark, Jackie Ledo Pablo is on the line. Hey, Pablo, did we used to be related when I was married to Pablo once upon a time? Ismail. Paulie H. is there, and Ed Buendizo, Mike Grace Bloss, Breck Salazar. Good morning to Eric Adda. Yeah, hope he gets the Madoff suite. We were talking about that SBF guy from the FTX. There are all kinds of stuff. I'm wondering about that. And I want to say that Bernie Madoff was arrested on the 11th of December a couple of years ago. I saw this on Twitter. That's how I'm going to say.
Oh, that guy that made off with all that money?
That guy, right? So he was arrested on December 11th back in the day, and this guy arrested on the 12th. And everybody going, oh yeah, it's going down like Chinatown, Brown. Eric Adda, quantum anomaly, smart and stupid at the same time. Crypto klepto, Michelle Charlene Lasonko. Let me see. Nick Perez, Lena McDaniel, Marty Mendoza, Terry Matanonia is online. So is Sherry Iriarty, Chris Camacho, and John Unadera. Let me see here. Claire Carrera watching. So is Joey Tsardaloff. I'm watching your show simultaneously on my Android phone and Apple iPad. Android is broadcasting way ahead of Apple. I don't know why that could be. It's only science. And I'm all scienced out this morning. Joe and Goko is there. Bonnie Datwin. Let me see. John Camacho, Maggie Woods, Mike Ebio, Louise Taitagui. Good morning to Gemma Bustamante. Good to see you there. Ike Secchi, Arlene Castro Guzman, and Joe Jerry. Charlie Hermosa from APL. Let me see. Need Sairav is tuned in. So is Jim Bonanno, and living in the Pacific checked in. That's good. Tony Rodriguez, T-Rod, I like to call him. Randy Landis, Vanji Branzuela, Bill Wyndham. Good to see Stephanie Semiliano. Real Joe.
Right click.
Thank you, Greg Fausto. I got Mateo Mortera, Colin, Jose, Mark Anthony is hanging out. Venue Guam. Good morning, Phil. Good to see you.
Hey, morning, Phil.
Valerie Cabalido is online here this morning. Nice to see that pretty face in the mix. Frank Untalan and Maisie Lee, M-A-I-S-I-E. Could be another right-click opportunity, Real Joe.
Away, sir.
Get in there. Dave Dinsman and Kenley and Guerrero. If Madoff had been headquartered on Guam, he would have gotten a parking ticket. Yeah, I hear that. Rico Blancaflor. Ooh, the Chinese seeds, too. Apparently, those will cause you to dodo everywhere you go. Rico says, we jerry-rig a shooting device adopted from a DIY PI toy gun where our ammo were the unripe green cherries. Left the pelt on the skin. So if we're talking about different ways to annoy each other as boys, young men. At Father Duenas, we had a thing. Every once in a while, it'd take them a while to do all of the yard work that needed to get done. And so the grass would grow up high, and there were patches of it that had the sticker burrs. Sticker birds?
Yes.
Sticker burrs. Sticker burrs.
Birds.
Yeah. Anyway, so you pick them up, and it's got kind of a long stalk, and then you've got the crown of the sticker birds on it. And then what you do is you see your friend. You only did this to your friend. You didn't do it with the radical guys from Agate.
No.
And you would throw it, bang, at their back. And that hurt like hell. And so you pull it out, and just the stalk comes away, but all the sticker birds stay on your skin and in your back. That was one of the cool things to do. Used to get away with the same thing with young beetle nut. We'd do that, and then there was the ultimate of the ultimate, which was like slingshots. Did you do the slingshot thing at Father Duenas?
Oh yeah, man.
Where you spent just a ridiculous amount of time, right? You got the really good rubber band, right? From like GovGuam style rubber bands, the nice thick ones, and then you would take a piece of paper and you fold it multiple times, very, very small, but very, very thick, and you'd make a defined point on it. And we used to have these slingshot wars at Father Duenas until one day, I heard somebody, around the stairs. And so I've got my slingshot. I'm loaded. I'm ready. I'm at battery with my slingshot, and I whip around, and I heard this noise of somebody coming up the stairs, and I thought it was one of the people that were coming to attack me with their slingshot. Yeah. And I whipped around, and I shot, and I let go, and I heard this, ow! And
Brother Gregory?
It was Brother Gregory.
Oh, you're dead.
But I moved so quickly, he did not see that it was me.
To the office, Gibson.
Oh, well, I was going to go. I was scheduled to go to the office for something anyway, something about stealing the exam. The less I say about that, the better. Is I don't want to give your kids any idea what were they getting close to. What is it that we're talking about here? Spring break. But I've been alarmed this morning. Excuse me, I just need to make adjustments here. I've been alarmed this morning about a couple of things, one of them being just an inordinate amount of screen time that everybody is on. Everybody is doing this, and I don't mean to make it sound like it's all about the kids. It should be, but everybody's got the same problem. It will manifest itself in ways that will concern us because little kids shouldn't be suffering from OCD conditions. They should not be obsessive or compulsive about something like a video game. And the problem with that is there's a lot of us that are addicted to screens one way or the other. Maybe it's a video game. I've told you unabashedly and unashamedly that one of my favorite things to do to kill time is I'll go to Instagram, and Instagram has my algorithm down. It's one of a couple of things. It's exercise videos and hot Asian chicks in bikinis. Oh yeah. Occasionally there'll be something in there about food. There's a guy on Twitter right now, Japanese super ramen chef, and for $40 he will enroll you into his super ramen making class online. Every year I try to changing subjects rather rapidly. Got to stay with me now. Every year I try to learn something new, and it's been a while. I remember one year I wanted to get into HTML coding, so I kind of taught myself that. Small engine repair, got one of those distance learning courses for that. Electronics, ham radio, and so maybe this year will be the year that I become the expert ramen guy and be able to put together incredible ramen flavors of a Chamorro Filipino kind of dialect. You know what I mean? Like a fusion of that. I don't know why more people should be doing stuff like that. But anyway, we're spending too much time on our phones. Internet usage. This is from online, another one of these online sources. It's got graphs, but I haven't really gone through them. But this is not just about kids. Internet usage is up among 44% of consumers. Our average online time is now almost 8 hours. What? We don't sleep that long. Most of us don't get that kind of sleep time. Internet usage has seen its ups and downs in the last few months with the pandemic. There's that word again, resulting in massive spikes in usage, which dipped not long after things started to return to normal, in spite of the fact that this is the case. 44.7% of consumers are increasing the amount of time that they spend using the internet, and this has brought the average online time up to 8 hours per day, with all things having been considered and taken into account. This comes from a report just published by High Speed Internet, and it revealed a lot of insights about the state of internet usage these days. 75% of consumer research their purchases before making them, and while in-person buying is still the preference, consumers still rely on the internet to make educated purchasing decisions. Email marketing teams must be cognizant of the preferences that consumers have, because of the fact that this is the sort of thing that could potentially end up helping them promote products in the right way to induce sales. Otherwise, just a whole bunch of people spending far too much time on the internet. Think about the way you do Amazon. When you're looking for something on Amazon, number one, there's the abundance of choice. I don't know about you, but I like to check and see how many stars we've got in terms of ratings. and then I will go and read the reviews that people have put down on some of the things that they've got. Now. You're not going to do this for everything, right? I wanted to get some. I bought these Apple tags from Beyond the Box, so I can keep track of where my stuff is all the time. Well, I told you, my buddy loaned me his Yeti, and he was
a big responsibility.
He was bugging me. He says, "Dude, I never see you with the Yeti," and I'm like, "Dude, I'm worried that somebody's going to steal it, and I'm going to owe you a $250 cooler." And so I went to Beyond the Box, and I've got myself a whole bunch of these Apple tags. And the idea behind them is that you put them into your backpack, wallet, purse, whatever. You leave it in your car, and that way you'll always know where your stuff is. And I wanted to get some accessories for it. Maybe something I could put a tag and stick in my wallet, or something that, you're a bike guy, and people steal bikes, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. So they make an enclosure for the Apple tag. It's got this super high-tech glue on one side, and then you screw in your tag on the inside of it, and then you put it underneath your seat, where no criminal, no thief would ever think to look for some kind of a tracking device. Anyway, so I'm looking at these things, and I realize I might need to go for a review, as opposed to, and I never did get around to buying anything because, again, you've got the just far too many choices. So they've got a graph here about how Americans' habits have changed since the start of the pandemic. And everybody, as you might imagine, are using social media more frequently, shopping online. This is interesting, and I don't know how many people are doing it around here, but getting food and groceries delivered. Have you ever had somebody come to your house from like a grab and grub and go or whatever?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah, once. And that costed an arm and a leg, man.
Did they eat? Did they eat the stuff?
No, they didn't.
Okay.
They didn't snack on my stuff.
Because if I was one of those drivers, that's why people put like stickers on the bag. So that you'll know if your driver was eating your French fries on the way. There should be a rule. There should be a rule. There's always put a little bit extra for the driver. Here, I'm not going to pay you a lot, and I certainly ain't going to tip you. But when I made the order from the guy, I asked him put together some nachos and cheese for you. You know what I mean? So congratulations. That's the good part. That's the high side of doing the delivery to my house. At 8:57, closing in on 9 o'clock in the morning. Still a whole bunch on my table of contents that we haven't necessarily had an opportunity to talk about today. The random violence up in Dededo. And I'm wondering, do we have a police precinct up in Dededo? We do, right? There's a place not too far away from the mayor's office.
Yeah, no, it's not too far from the flea market.
Didn't somebody throw a hand grenade at that?
No, that's the old one.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay. Oh, I know which one you're talking about. The one by the Gura.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is police presence there. Is it possible we just don't have enough of that police presence there, where you can have dudes just sitting around by the store drinking beer and basically asking everybody that passes by to get into a fight with them? And from the pictures that are circulating on the internet and online here, they look like pretty dangerous dudes. You just go, maybe we just need to, identify the fact that there are places where there is a whole lot of crime, and then put lots of police officers there, and maybe get something like a highway patrol or something like that. People going out there and looking for folks that are breaking the speed records around here or blowing red lights and things like that. But everybody else is going to be patrolling on the streets in the villages, the secondary and tertiary roads, looking for people, kind of like the guys that keep track of my village in the middle of the night. I'm comforted when I go to sleep at night knowing that there are dudes in our crime-fighting chat group that go on patrol virtually all night long. And when they see something suspicious, we take pictures of it, shoot videos of it, and then call the policeman to come and get these guys off the streets. And you cannot stay here. Go home and move along. So we got a whole lot of that kind of thing that's going on. So we might have conversations about that. Power credit extensions, things that are going on over at the legislature. To the degree that I have been paying attention to any of that at all, I'll share with you my thoughts as we make our way into the next hour of the program. In the meantime, radio stations KUSG got you 93.3. We are Pika's best. They say this is The Point.
denied. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. Sam Bankman-Fried, the disgraced CEO of cryptocurrency company FTX, faced a judge in the Bahamas today. He was arrested there last night at the request of U.S. authorities.
Both the CFTC and the SEC bringing forth suits. The latter is accusing the former CEO of swindling equity investors in FTX out of nearly $2 billion. And of course, the big one, the U.S. Attorney's Office of the Southern District of New York filing criminal charges. The former crypto king is facing 8 counts. They range from wire fraud and conspiracy to commit securities fraud to violating campaign finance law.
Kelly O'Grady with Fox Business. Bankman-Fried says he didn't intentionally try to defraud anyone and says he will fight extradition to the U.S. He's due back in court in February. At the White House.
Today's a good day. A day America takes a vital step toward equality.
President Biden signing the Respect for Marriage Act, which protects same-sex and interracial marriages. The president saying marriage is a simple proposition.
Who do you love? And will you be loyal to that person you love? It's not more complicated than that. And the law recognizes that everyone should have the right to answer those questions for themselves without the government interference.
Congress took up the measure after the Supreme Court struck down Roe v. Wade earlier this year. A massive storm that spawned tornadoes in Texas and Oklahoma is also being blamed for blizzard-like conditions in the Rockies and parts of the Midwest. Parts of interstates in South Dakota and Nebraska shut down due to freezing rain, drifting snow, and high winds. Wall Street stocks closed higher after the government reported inflation cooled more than expected last month. The Dow added 103, the Nasdaq plus 113, the S&P gained 29. America is listening to Fox News.
Guam Regional Medical City is the center of excellence for general and minimally invasive surgeries like colonoscopy, dialysis and vascular access, gallbladder, skin and soft tissue, gastrointestinal tract, hernia repair, spleen, select liver and pancreas diseases, upper endoscopy, and more. Schedule your appointment with GRMC today by calling 671-633-GRMC. That's 671-633-4762. For more information, visit us at grmc.gu.
Choice Broadcasting introduces their unbeatable lineup of morning shows.
Hands down winners of Guam's morning radio battle.
Daryl Lizama grooves his way through Boss 104 playing Guam's favorite classic hits.
Morning mouth Ray Gibson shakes the cage on 93.3 The Point.
And now, we are proud to announce the Morning Blender with Kyle Mandapat, mixing it up at sunrise on Star 101.
If you're an advertiser trying to reach the most valuable ears, we've got the shows that listeners have been tuning into for decades.
One call gets all three.
671-888-7346. That's 888-RGIO.
8 people have been found guilty of helping the terrorists who killed 86 people in a truck rampage in France.
The main defendant, Mohamed Graeb, was a friend of the driver who ploughed for over a mile through the crowds of Nice's promenade on Bastille Day, July 14th, 2016. He was found guilty of belonging to a terrorist organisation and sentenced to 18 years in prison. 6 other men and 1 woman were also sent to prison for between 2 and 18 years. The verdicts followed 3.5 months of often emotional testimony from survivors describing a summer night of horrors on the French Riviera. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
An agreement's been struck in Denmark to form a new center-led government after 42 days of talks. The U.S. government claims scientists for the first time have produced more energy from a fusion reaction than was used to start the process.
These scientists at Lawrence Livermore have, for the first time, generated energy not from splitting atoms, but combining them. Fusion is often called the holy grail of energy sources. It's low risk, affordable, unlimited, and carbon-free, and it does not produce radioactive waste. So 2 weeks ago, scientists focused 192 lasers on a capsule about the size of a BB. And for the first time, after decades of trying, the atoms began to replicate, producing more energy than the lasers consumed.
Fox's William Langeness. The Energy Department says although a commercial reactor could be a decade away, they say this could one day unlock a new source of clean energy. Adam Sandler is set to receive this year's Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. The Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts with the announcement today, saying in a statement, Adam Sandler has entertained audiences for over 3 decades with his films, music, and his tenure as a fan favorite cast member on SNL. The award will be given to Sandler at a gala in March. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Go Go green. Go hybrid. Go to Nanbo Insurance, and your next power bill is on us. Insure your hybrid car at Nanbo and get up to $350 towards your next power bill. That's instant savings for keeping our island clean and green. Nanbo has been providing Guam with over 50 years of reliable and affordable auto insurance. At Nanbo, it pays to go green. Terms and conditions apply. Visit nanbo.com or call 477-9754 for details.
Pacific Points is turning 2 years, and we're giving away 2 million points. Imagine what you could do when you went up to 2 years worth of free Shell fuel, foodies products, or rebates on your IT&E bill. Receive entries into our monthly and grand prize drawings when you sign up for Pacific Points. Earn and redeem points at Shell, foodies, and IT&E when you refer your friends, and more. Go to PacificPoints.com for details and see more ways to enter. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Santa's coming and things are looking up. Bank Pacific has rolled out Rudolph's favorite My Christmas loan with an annual percentage interest rate as low as 5.99% and up to $50,000. And with the Bank Pacific contactless Visa debit card, you can have the flexibility of using your money when you want to, where you want to. My Christmas loan, contactless Visa debit card. Let's make Christmas merrier. Member FDIC, equal opportunity lender. Credit conditions apply. Merry Christmas from Bank Pacific.
6 after 9 o'clock in the morning, 888-8255-888-TALK. Sorry, gave in to my desires and checked on Twitter while the Fox News was playing to see if there was anything interesting. There is a survey that has been put up by guy Rudy Havenstein. And the survey is the likelihood that cameras monitoring Sam Bankman-Fried's jail cell will malfunction. Your choices are 100%. You are a conspiracy nut, 81 million, and redacted. I think they're going to be looping this guy in with, is it possible he's going to suicide himself while he's in jail because he knows too many secrets that could lead uncomfortably to members of an administration in particular? I don't know. I thought that was interesting. 7 after 9 o'clock in the morning, Ray Gibson Show brought to you by APL American President Lines. Global presence with a local home, also brought to you by GRMC, Guam Regional Medical City. They are your healthcare partners.
Real Talk Radio is back. Welcome to The Point, Guam's FM News Talk Superstation.
So last hour, is it? I'm trying to. Where are we now? Looking for the guy's. Or what's his name's name in this? I'll put the picture up on the screen, sort of, and you'll know who I'm talking about. This fella here, with the no hair and the makeup.
Is he the Secretary of Transportation or something like that?
No, nuclear energy or something on that order. Non-binary Biden official mocked after being fired for stealing luggage. Your new pronouns are un and employed. Oh,
should I have said he? Should I have called him a he?
Conservatives on Twitter roasted former Department of Energy Deputy Assistant Secretary for Spent Fuel and Waste Disposition, Sam Brinton, after the official was fired by the U.S. government for reportedly stealing airport luggage on multiple occasions. Brinton, a biological male who gained notoriety for being one of the U.S. government's first non-binary officials, was charged with stealing a woman's suitcase at Minneapolis-St. Paul in September and another at Harry Reid International in Las Vegas in July. One of the bags that Brinton was seen on surveillance footage stealing from the L.A. baggage claim contained nearly $4,000 worth of clothing, jewelry, and makeup. After news of the charges went viral, a Department of Energy spokesman told the Daily Beast Sam Brinton is no longer a DOE employee. By law, the Department of Energy cannot comment further on, oh my God, this is going to piss off Klitsky. The Department of Energy cannot comment further on personnel matters.
Oh, no.
Despite Brinton identifying as non-binary, a detective described the official as a white male adult wearing a white T-shirt with large rainbow-colored atomic nuclear symbol design in the Las Vegas Metro Police Department warrant. Twitter's users found the end of Brinton's DOE career amusing, joking that the former government worker hit a new milestone, the first non-binary person fired by the U.S. government for theft. We offer our congratulations How about that? Well, that'll make things a little bit interesting in at least one part of the Twitterverse, and I hope that you've been having a chance to stick around for that. As much as I'm going to moan about everybody spending too much time online and in front of screens, I tell you what, I used to very sparingly visit Twitter. I just, it was just a cesspool of just awful humanity. As it turns out, most of that was bots. Most of it was, one guy that was writing things 50 different ways, and then the bots were doing all the rest of it. So it looked like there was this massive crowd that was moving attitudes and feelings in one direction when it really wasn't. And I got to tell you that since Elon Musk has taken over, it has gotten that much more entertaining. Yesterday was going after, what was that pronoun joke that I gave yesterday that I thought was kind of amusing? And if you hold on a second, I'll see if I can find another more recent quote from Elon. Hold on. And that's turned into like a fun thing just to see who he's triggering today, who he's going after today. Under pressure from hundreds of activist employees, Twitter deplatforms Trump, a sitting U.S. president, even though they themselves acknowledge that he did not violate the rule, which is where they're moving around now. And this morning, who's he going to? And I will admit to stealing this completely. The Branch Covidians are upset because his pronouns now are prosecute and Fauci. And there are all kinds of people that are jumping into his case on Facebook, specifically on that particular tweet. The Branch Covidians are upset. And here comes Ed Krasenstein, who says, try telling that to the 6,658,727 humans who died of COVID-19. Try telling that to their friends and families who no longer have loved ones. And another Krasenstein, this one a Brian, I'd rather listen to a Branch Covidian than a chief twit. The Branch Covidians, as in people who listen to scientists, who are scientists and doctors themselves, who are trained in virology with decades of experience, those Branch Covidians. And it's just amazing the degree to which people are vocally and visibly disagreeing with him, but they're still there. Nobody's getting deplatformed. Nobody's getting censored. Nobody's, and it is a free flow of ideas and very, very interesting memes. So if you're one of those people that swore off Twitter a long, long time ago, like me, thinking there's nothing to learn here, there's no amusement, I would urge you to go back in. And you don't have to be there all day like I am. You don't have to. What? It's one of those things. This is what. Let's see if I can turn this up so everybody can hear it. Is it going to make noise? Oh, no, it didn't make noise. Normally, normally when I refresh the screen on Twitter, it will give me this little clickety-click noise, like, okay, something is happening. I'm going to download something else. 888-825-5. 888-TALK is the telephone number around here. Mark earlier asking what the heck is going on in Day-to-Do. There was lousy traffic over at Leche, Macheche, and Bello. Looks like most of that has burned off this morning. I can get this up on the screen so you can see what I'm looking at. But it looks like we're back to just intersection traffic. Up and down that road. Nothing major in the north end of town as you're making your way southbound. A little bit of traffic over in front of the airport and over at the ITC building. But when is there not traffic over in front of the ITC building? Everything else seems to be running fairly smooth this morning. If you see something, say something. Let me know about it. Accident, stalled vehicles, abandoned vehicles on the sides of the roadways that just never, ever go away. I was telling you earlier about a new one that we've got on the Magagaga driveway. Magahaga, sorry. Not Magagaga.
Magahaga.
Magahaga driveway, speedway, no, motorway. Whatever it is, that road up in Teedson. There's I want to say it's right over by the warehouses on the opposite side of the street, and it's a car. Didn't look like it was a terrible ride, but apparently something happened to it. The front windshields are broken, and it'll probably still be there in a year's time. And slowly the boondocks will kind of grow around it, even though it's on the asphalt.
Let's go get that catalytic converter, Ray. You and me, man.
Can I ask a question?
Let's do it.
All right. So, because you're the closest thing I've got to a link to the criminal underground on Guam.
Oh, nice.
That's all right. So every once in a while we have to acknowledge our skills. So, what? I shouldn't ask. Because I'm going to talk about it on the radio. And then in tomorrow morning's news, rash of catalytic converter thefts all over the island. So the question that I have, though, and maybe if you work in the police department, or maybe you've got a connection to our seamy underbelly of organized crime here on Guam, what does a catalytic converter sell for? I mean, if let's say somebody abandoned a car here in front of the radio station, and I decided, all right, well, I'm going to get rid of it, but before I call the wrecker, I'm going to go underneath and pull down that catalytic converter. Where, number one, where do I fence it? Number two, what's it worth? Any idea?
Yeah. I can. We'll talk after the show. I have no idea, man. Neither scrap metal, dude.
Neither me. Well, but what do they do with it? Hold on to it? Is there someplace where you can go in and would it refine the whatever's inside? I mean, what is inside?
Okay, there's precious metals like platinum, palladium, and rhodium.
Okay, I don't know what any of those things.
Platinum is recently trading at $944 per ounce.
Aha.
Palladium, $2,100 an ounce, and rhodium, nearly $10,000 an ounce.
But
so there's
that's already the price of a new car. You total all that up, and we're talking about a new car. I mean, so how much of those materials are actually in the catalytic converter? I mean, there's gold in your cell phone, right? But it's not the easiest thing. Yeah, for some people, it's
10,000 phones to get. A gram.
So is it the same? So I don't know. It's one of those things, because I worry that kind of thing is going to start happening around here as people get more and more. There are folks, and I'll tell you more Friday after having sat through a few hours of magistrate reports. But there are people in this town anymore whose sole job is to go steal stuff. I'm almost positive that I see them in the morning, right? You know, it's like the Saturday morning cartoon.
Get up early.
with the guy with the wolf and the sheepdog and the sheep, and you got they're like on a shift. So I get that feeling every once in a while as I'm driving to work in the morning. It's 4:30 or something like that. I get the feeling like some of these other cars on the road are the Saki Milanias that are all done for the night. Well, we went out to started looking for stuff to steal about 9, 10 o'clock last night. Maybe broke into a couple of cars and swiped some stuff off somebody's driveway and their front porch. And I'm going to call it a night now. I'm just going to go home and catch a few Z's, and then wake up in the morning and go to wherever it is that I'm going to fence this stuff and get whatever money I can get, and then go get high for a while and get my yang up, and then start the whole thing all over again tonight at about 9 o'clock, And that's the shift. I mean, do they get weekends off? Are there holidays for that kind of thing? Or is
comp time?
There's compensatory time. Right. Yeah, you think there might be. And who's the supervisors? Who's the one that's out there doing all the supervising? What's that? Looking around. Elon is a master troll on Trump's level, says Rico B. Absolutely agree. Jerome McDonald says, I did. Activated by Twitter 3 weeks ago. Got a new username. Congratulations to you. Rico B says, look me up. I'm just Ray Gibson on Twitter. And do yourself a favor. Don't look at the people I'm following. Don't look at that for inspiration. I'm not saying NSFW. I'm not saying NSFW.
Safe for work.
But I am saying that it will raise the eyebrows of whoever is watching your Twitter over your shoulder. 20 after 9 o'clock in the morning, 888-825-5888-TALK. Small talk portion of the program, as will happen every once in a while. There are a couple of people that I wanted to talk to, but may or may not be available. We've been trying to get a hold of Vince Ariola, who is the boss over at DPW for some time. Homeboy Shopping Networks. says Nick Perez. I've never heard that before, but that's going to be a T-shirt. Romeo Miranda. There it is. There's the new T-shirt. Come up with the logo for the Homeboy Shopping Network. Did you lock your door tonight? I don't think so. But anyways, it was talking about an article. In this case, I also want to get a hold of Clint Rigel, who's got a very, very interesting forum article in today's Guam Daily Post. And regular column is called Hafaday and Tidao. First of all, I want to ask him what the Tidao means. Second, street justice or lynch mob. And we played the video last week of the guy that, and it was very early in the process, that looked like he was being the victim of vigilante justice, that there had been so much Sakimilanya going on in the streets, that these residents found somebody that they believed to be responsible for thefts at their place and in the area, and took the matter into their own hands and gave this guy a jungle justice brand beating. And it was in one way, you couldn't take your eyes off of it. And the other part of it, where you go, wow, that's soon to be the safest street in all of Manila, because the word is going to get out that the residents there have got no tolerance or patience for people they don't know walking around their streets. And there was, and is, I'm going to admit this now, there was and is a little bit of a fascination for that, because it seems to me that there are all kinds of crimes being perpetrated by people who just don't care. They've unplugged enough from society. They don't care. They know that they might get arrested. They might actually spend time in a jail, maybe a few hours, and then they're going to come right back out. They hear the same stories that you hear about guys that are getting arrested for fairly serious crimes, that have figured out how to game the system, or to make it so that it will be a while before my case is heard by a judge and jury. And so they're back out on the streets. Got to be frustrating as hell for the cops, but it's also got to be frustrating as hell for people that just kind of live in their lives. And I was thinking, well, these folks have absolutely had it, got their hands on somebody they thought was the perpetrator of the crime, and then beat the hell out of him. As it turns out, it was a case, or appears to be a case, of mistaken identity. And the family of the individual that was beat down has been in the media, on television. I saw a piece on KUAM where one of the relatives was talking about how disappointed he was with the entire process, including the fact that the victim was arrested and clearly needed to have some kind of medical attention, but they apparently threw him in the clink and didn't bother checking on him for a couple of hours before somebody realized that he might actually need to go to the hospital and see a doctor and have those battle scars attended to. So you got that level of incitement. Clint Rigel asking the question, was it street justice or a lynch mob? I won't read the whole thing to you, but would suggest that you take a look at it when you get a chance to see the Guam Daily Post today. This raises, he says, a lot of uncomfortable questions. Why would people think it's okay to beat anyone, even if they were caught stealing? Has the public become bloodthirsty? Is this a result of recent political rhetoric? Is it a result of social media? Is it a complete lack of faith in the judicial system? Is it a complete lack of faith in government and authorities in general? Would any of this have happened if the boy was not of FSM descent? Was it a hate crime that he's asking? Now, you can make out audio in the thing. And I don't know that I heard any racial slurs or epithets that were thrown at the victim. Some terrible things were said and some terrible things were done for sure, but I don't know that it rose to a level of a hate crime there. But I don't know, when you ask these questions like he's doing, why would people think it's okay to beat anyone, even if they were caught stealing? And the answer, I think, is wrapped up in the question itself. Because maybe they thought they caught him stealing. And you remember the dude that was being held down by the owner of the truck for stealing his tires? You remember that video there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked like it. There might have been some missing context in the beginning and end of that when it was time for the apprehension, et cetera. Are we getting bloodthirsty? Has the public become bloodthirsty? I don't know. I'm not enough of a society watcher to tell you that. You think about just how quickly certain fights, organized fights, sell out. Maybe there is a little bit of bloodlust that goes along in there, and in addition to appreciating the talent and skills that people bring to this, it's still watching one guy wailing on another guy, and people like to watch that. It's very difficult not to. Is it a result of social media? A complete lack of faith in the judicial system? And I think Clint answers that question in the question itself. Is, when seconds count, the cops can be there in minutes. And how many of us have had our homes broken into or cars broken into, stuff stolen, And that's it. I mean, I guarantee that, if the crime statistics anywhere are low, you know why they're low? Because people aren't bothering to report the incidents anymore. Yeah, I was at such and such a place. Somebody broke into my car, stole my wallet. I guess I have to go and go to the Department of Revenue Tax and get a new driver's license. Oh, woe is me. Fill out the forms at the bank for a replacement card, that kind of thing, and not bother telling the cops because we know that there's a very, very slim likelihood, number one, that they'll catch the guy, and an even slimmer likelihood that we'll get our stuff back. And you go, well, you throw up your hands and you go, what are we going to do? What are we to do? And then all of a sudden, here comes somebody that has got that looks like somebody that was stealing, and the neighbors do what they think is necessary to send a message. Nick Perlowski says, I would retain a good lawyer and sue the bejeebies out of them. Vince Polino online. Nick Perlowski says, well, for one thing, it takes GPD hours to respond due to low manning. Let me say Donna Mila, because it was okay for Clint Rigel to do nothing for 2 years and still get paid while he and his cronies helped the government maintain her power. Why even ask those questions when he did nothing when the governor violated our rights? So Zay says, obviously, Clint Rigel doesn't know history. People have been beating each other ever since. It's like Jennifer Lawrence saying she's the first woman lead in an action film. Why do some people think the world started at their birth? Well, I don't know. I think Uncle Robert had a pretty interesting thing to say about that once upon a time as well. These are interesting times that we live in, even more interesting when you base, everything centric on yourself. But maybe I say too much. It is the Ray Gibson Show, and lots of it based kind of loosely on my observations and interpretations of life here on Guam. And it must be all right because you're still here. You're still tuning in, seeing what's going on. I'm switching gears, turning a corner real quick, wondering about when I'm going to watch a movie. There's a movie that is coming. I want to say it's Friday, right? Is that when the Avatar movie is going to be?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay, so Avatar, The Way of Water is the name of the movie. 13 years later, the sequel to the original Avatar movie. And I remember when that came out. It was a weird timing when it came out. Is we were at the time talking about the military buildup and the Marines coming. And who's the bad guys in Avatar?
The Marines.
The Marines.
Yeah.
I bet the bad guys in this one as well. It's gonna be what's his name, and the Na'vi, and they're gonna be
the Tree of Life.
The Tree of Life.
The Nelson Tree.
Nelsoni.
Oh, Nelsoni
is what you're looking at.
Pardon me.
Anyway, so there's two things. Number one, do I want to go and watch this movie on the big screen in 3D, knowing what I think I know about it, right?
Yes.
I know it's the spectacle, right? It's the sequel
take Eddie's
to the greatest movie, the highest grossing movie of all time. So there's number one. Number two, okay, so yes, I will go watch the movie in 3D in the movie theaters whenever the thing comes out. But I want to wait until the crowds go down. I wonder, will the crowds show up and it eventually go down? There's a weird timing thing that goes along with that. And the other one is, will I enjoy it? Are there any other questions left over from watching the first Avatar to where we are now? What is the whole point of The Way of the Water? What is it that we are going to be? Because you know it's going to happen, guys. You know it's going to happen. There's going to be something in there that's going to make you feel bad, like you're the villain because I don't know, it's white, heterosexual, misogynistic, too much testosterone or something like that. Are we going to walk out going, well, I really like the special effects. Could do a whole lot with less lecturing. It's like watching woke stuff on Netflix.
It's going to be a lesbian kiss, Ray, in that movie.
Are you saying there's something wrong with that?
No.
929. That's the fun part of doing this show is every once in a while he'll leave his microphone open and there's no filter generally, and just words start coming out. And I never know what they're going to be, so it's always kind of an adventure popping into the studio. Now, one other thing before we take the break. Do I have a Burger King commercial in this break by any chance?
No, you don't.
Okay, then fine. I'll do a quick Burger King commercial in here. This is I'm holding. You can hear the wrapper now of the crispy chicken sandwich. Crispy And the idea here, and he's got the big letter I, means Italian. And I got to tell you, I'm in love for a limited time only. Love the bread, Rudy. And then you've got the crispy chicken. And they do a great job at Burger King with the crispy chicken. It looks like we've got some great Italian cheese on this, and kind of a mozzarella filling on the inside. You would make this at your house, but maybe not with the bread. You have more of those kind of things. So I've eaten half of it while the Fox News was playing. There's a very, very good chance that I will nosh on another couple of bites here while the commercials are playing. It's 9:30 in the Ray Gibson Show. I'll be right back.
News this hour is brought to you by the friendly and hardworking folks at Hoffaday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, Lolita, and their team of professionals. Contact Hoffaday Realty for all your real estate needs. Call 671-989-0008 or email hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. They are located at 426 Chelan San Antonio, Suite 204, Timoning, and open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. Hoffaday Realty thanks you for your support in Pika's Best of 2022.
All three stations, all three morning shows. Thanks to all the listeners for Pika's Best. Choice Broadcasting has swept the top three best radio stations. The Point, Boss 104, and Star 101. Top three radio personalities, Kyle Mandapat, Ray Gibson, and Daryl Lizama. Put the power of Pika's Best to work for you. If you're an advertiser, call 671-888-7346 for information, rates, and packages. And let us get your message out to Pika's Best listeners with Pika's Best broadcasters. And thanks for listening to Pika's Best.
Come try Guam's original Chamorro restaurant with Pika's Best 5 years running. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus to naktak, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet hamburgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's Hoffaday service at their Hagåtña and Grand Plaza Tumon location. Call their Hagåtña location at 479-2652 for reservations.
Facebook says Shelly Gibson and 8 others have birthdays today. Big sister Shelly, Josh Desiree Lasonko, Emily Rose, Juan Ugun, Guam, Anita my old classmate Anita Muffness. That's Johnny's sister, Christine Ogo Artero, Christine Guerrero, and Regine Bisco Lee is celebrating a birthday today.
Wow, happy birthday, everyone.
Wouldn't it be great if we had like a song that we could sing, just a way to help them commemorate their very special day on the radio?
Your sister's a Capricorn, Ray.
Lucky me.
That explains everything.
Lucky me, right?
Lucky you.
Okay, I don't know. Okay. So let me just get back to some of the responses here online. Let's see, Donna Mila. Still breaking Clint's. If somebody broke into my home while I'm there, says Nick, I would call GPD and tell them either you send a unit over here now or the medical examiner. It's your call. Rico B says, and this is where we flipped over and I started talking about Avatar, The Way of the Water. Rico says, go PI, watch Avatar in IMAX. Let's go.
Oh, wow. Mall of Asia has one of those, right?
Moa? Nobody calls it Mall of Asia.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a foreigner.
That's
I'm a foreigner.
You're showing your newbie. New guy, where do you want to go? Mall of Asia. Let's go there.
Stop,
this is Moa. But I don't know where I honestly don't know where they have the Avatar there, the IMAX in the Philippines. Couldn't tell you. I know that in Bonifacio Global City area, there are a couple of movie theaters there. The one that I like the most, though, I believe, is in the Maxims Resort. Where is it? The Maxims? Maybe it's at the mall over at the end of High. But there's one there. And I've told you, we talked about this before. Lay down chairs, my guy. They've got these. They're basically a bed that and kind of a recliner deal that you've got there. And you can make it go all the way back and lay down and fall asleep. They give you a blanket and a pillow, and you can get beer. They will serve you beer in there. Wow. And you're going, okay, now I'm ready for a 3-hour movie, and just absolutely terrific. where you get the guys, it's like a butler, and you can press a button, and he'll come back and freshen up your popcorn and get you a new drink, and maybe if you want a hot dog or something like that, he might be able to go and get the thing. But the idea is that once you're in there, you are literally lap of luxury. It is comfort all the way through. The temperature in the room is absolutely perfect for enjoying a movie, and you're spread out. You're spread out. There's like 2 seats over here because you and your own, and then there's another 2 and another 2 and another 2, and it's designed like that. So everybody's got a degree of privacy as they're watching the movie. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, well, this is going to cost me a fortune, and I was blown away that it didn't cost much more than. In fact, it was probably cheaper than watching a movie here on Guam in the so-called big dog and chairs.
It's cheaper than M&M's here.
No, it's well, no, M&M's are expensive everywhere, Real Joe. That's movie crack, and they're going to sell that at something like a premium. Let me see. To get a bit of it, Rico says Aquaman and more will show up to save the day. I'm still looking for Darna, bro. Still got my eyes out for Darna. Bridget Cruz, Linda Tom Butch, Judy Takadina is online. That's it. Donna D says that sandwich tastes like chicken parmesan in a bun. Absolutely yummy. Yes, they did a great job with that. Greg Fausto, Vince Polino says, man, I wish I still had the Street Justice clip where the residents caught Asaki and made him cut off his own fingers. Do we have that here? That's not here.
Well, I haven't seen anything like that.
No. It must be from someplace else. A great PSA lesson for deterrence of thieves. Tommy Bernardo checking out. Jerica Clark, Cecile Rages, good morning to you. Jerica says, I love Mall of Asia. It's Moa! Couldn't finish walking around. It's too huge. I know that feeling. Most major PI malls have IMAX theaters, says Rico B. Sing happy birthday, Ray. Make it special. Oh, I don't know about that. Jerica saying, I miss the Philippines. We should go. I'm telling you. The more I think about it, we need to plan a couple of trips here. One of them would be to Japan, and Tattoo Shauna will be our translator and guide. Even though I don't think she really speaks Japanese or knows like her way around Tokyo, it doesn't matter. That's half of the fun of traveling.
Bow a lot.
Yeah, it's half the fun of traveling is just being get lost in Tokyo. Didn't you watch Lost in Translation with Bill Murray and that pretty girl? Yeah. What does he say to her at the end of it when he puts his mouth close to her ears and touches the back of her head oh so lovingly? There might be someplace on the World Wide Web where you can get a translation on that. Brad Wood says, I love tacos. Jerica says, I miss the Philippines. Brad Wood says, I love tacos. Okay, gotcha. 888-8255-88-TALK. The Ray Gibson Show until 10 o'clock this morning. A program note, there's a better than even money that I'm not going to be here past 8 o'clock tomorrow morning because of jury duty. Based on what I've been reading over the last several days, there's probably a backlog of magistrates and reports that we're going to have to go through to make sure that they are fairly busy in the next month over at the courthouse. And for the most part, you'd be surprised at how easy it is to turn in a true bill. We're not running into too many cases, at least in my jury pool, where we're getting, those Perry Mason moments. Well, what about this? Tell me about the circumstantial evidence that was uncovered by the police officers on such and such a date and such as in many, many cases. And in fact, I've gotten the attorney that works with us to start with it. Because what they do is they like to, dress it up. Here's what happened. This is what Joe is accused of. Here's the incident report. Here's the police report. Here's the arrest report. Here's the follow-up interviews. And then he'll say something like, yeah, and then he admitted to perpetrating this crime because he needed to feed his family. And you go, what did you start with that now? Why did you could start with it and say the defendant, who's already pled guilty to the crime, did this, that, and the other. And we'll be more than happy to write out a vote for a yes on a true bill on that. So we've finally gotten him to move that a little bit closer to the front. And then there's our favorite part where he says, I have no further questions for the witness. And then we go on and do our thing. But apparently there seems to be a whole lot. I will make one more remark. And it will sound like a complaint to the guys over at the Pacific Daily News. But I urge you, I got my fingers crossed that tomorrow, whatever's broken with your printer has been restored, whatever you got to be doing in order to publish a newspaper gets done, for no other reason that you guys are 50% of my Sudoku connections for jury duty. Every morning, I go through the newspapers, obviously looking for the big stories here, looking for stuff that you and I can talk about that'll kill 4 hours of talk radio. And then I'll get to the comic section of the newspaper. FYI, is it me, or are they getting smaller and smaller and smaller every week? This is the comic section from today's Guam Daily Post. Didn't it used to be 2 pages of comics?
True.
Now we're down to, what have I got, 4 panels here?
Sad.
And the Sudoku. But there's, I don't know, we do have, did they move it? No. We've at least got the horoscopes. What'd you say, Shelley's Capricorn?
Capricorn, I believe it.
Sagittarius.
She's a Sag?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
It
I've
says,
been wrong all this time.
Shelley, it says, this is the perfect day to play hooky. Your energy level is lower. Yes, you need the day off. It's also easy to feel discouraged or beaten down by situations happening around you. Fortunately, a boss or a parent might reassure you. Take it easy today. Pamper yourself. Tonight, check your money.
Oh,
I'll tell you right now, tonight.
Check your money.
Leave your money at home. The rest of the family will cover dinner tonight, so you don't even worry about that.
What do you mean by the rest of the family, Ray?
Huh?
Mana?
Nothing.
Not you.
Man, you're observant today, bud. You're catching me at all of my spots.
You're really good.
Well, hold on. Let's see what mine says. Let's see. I'm a Taurus. Do not make important decisions today.
Yeah.
About inheritances, shared property, or debt because there's an element of confusion. Postpone these decisions for another day. Meanwhile, this is a great day to schmooze, have fun with others, especially people who are, quote, different. Tonight, learn something. People who are different. Like that guy that got fired for stealing women's underwear out of the luggage at the airport. How about, is that the kind of different that we're talking about? Shelley does have some friends like that. I'm just going to say. But anyway, so one of the other things that you'll notice if you pick up my newspaper is there's a corner missing. That's the Sudoku corner. PDN has a Sudoku in their thing as well, which means on any given day, I'll have 2 Sudokus to choose from. And so I've got a stack of these things that I pulled out of the newspapers over the last 2 weeks. And unfortunately, it's not as fat as I'd like it to be because there's no Sudoku in the PDN. I know. First world problems. I'll have to learn to deal with it. 888-825-888-TALK is the phone number around these parts. 942. There are a few other things that are worth talking about. Let me just look at my table of contents because every once in a while I'll just open the page and then just kind of forget that I put the work in for this. So story number 1, Congressman Congressman Jimmy Moylan, front page of today's Guam Daily Post, talking about what he wants to do. Steps he'd like to take in Washington, D.C. We spoke to him earlier about that on the radio. But I'd also brought this out. For those of you that heard it before, sorry, I don't like to repeat myself. But it's kind of boring right now, so what the hell. Mike St. Nicholas from Guam, working with the Business and Industry Loan Guarantees, has provided for Island Search Corporation $1.835 million. So 2 things. Who are the Island Search Corporation? We need to see if we can find these guys and find out what it is they want to do with the money. They put together a plan. A rural development investment will be used to assist Island Search Corporation in obtaining a long-term loan to construct a 6,000-square-foot warehouse building. Building will be located in Barragata. Island Search Corporation, a woman-owned, hub-certified S corporation, which specializes in an array of equipment and construction inspection services and certifications. Why does this sound like something Lucia Fleming would know everything about?
I think she would.
This will be a new warehouse for the company, which will enable them to consolidate their operations into one facility. So we've got some money coming out of the USDA. Doesn't happen every day, but Mike St. Nicholas was able to get his hands into that revenue stream. Okay. All right. I know this guy. Mark Cruz is sending me a contact for a guy named Dave. Okay, well, maybe I'll talk with him about some of the things that they're going to be up to.
Dave Barnhouse?
Yes.
Dave and Nancy Barnhouse.
So, claim to fame?
Yeah. No, they're on the team there at Island Search.
Okay, so are you ready?
I'm gonna try
Brad says she knows the owners. I'm looking to see if somebody's giving me more clues. Okay, claim to fame, Nancy and Dave. Nancy found in a junkyard the Two Lovers statue.
No.
Yes.
What?
What? Yes, I'm probably blowing the story completely. but she had found it and thought, well, what a lousy thing. It's a beautiful statue. I guess it could come down in a storm and somebody just go, oh, throw it away, give it to the Massey or whatever. And they did. Nancy finds this thing and orchestrates a plan to rehabilitate it and return it to Two Lovers Point, where it is now.
Amazing.
It is kind of amazing. It's just some really, really fantastic people, and I've always enjoyed the conversations that we've had. All right, glad to know about them, and we'll see if we can get a hold of him. Yep, says Mark. We'll see if we can get a hold of Dave or Nancy and see what they've got, because I'm sure when we're talking about women-owned businesses, maybe Nancy is the woman that is running things over at the Search. Yeah, that could be it. But we'll learn a little bit more and find out if I can use some of that spot at the warehouse. You know, I'm be for my Tupperwares. Everybody's got too much of one thing. I don't really have any Tupperware, as much as I've got just containers, some with covers, some without covers. What's this I'm getting? It is a press release from the public auditor. Thank you, Shelley, for sending this over. I was about to open it up in my whatchamacallit. With the election season all wrapped up, and as winning candidates prepare for their inaugural activities in the coming year, Public Auditor Benjamin J.F. Cruz Beach has issued an advisory on the ethical standards concerning contributions to inaugural and transition committees. In early November, Cruz transmitted a letter and legal memorandum from the OPA to candidates forewarning them of the procurement statutes concerning contributions to inauguration committees. At present, Guam law strictly enforces a $2,000 maximum contribution to candidates to ensure they are not beholden to big donors when they're elected. However, when the election is over, winning candidates are able to solicit and receive, quote, donations for their inaugural activities. Sums donated are 10, 20, sometimes 25 times the maximum campaign contributions. What is of grave concern is a transition committee soliciting and or receiving donations from vendors or prospective vendors, and how it might affect the vendor's standing as a responsible vendor, in that it could be alleged and found in violation of 5 GCA concerning gratuities and kickbacks and giving favors to the territory. Cruz has broached his concern with the Guam Election Commission. However, they stated their jurisdiction was limited to the conduct of the election and does not extend to inaugural activities. Oh, man, where's Doug? I'm looking for him. Where's... The OPA has issued a prior audit on a transition committee, OPA Report 19-06, Governor and Lieutenant Governor's Transition Fund, which pointed out key concerns on proper expenditures and requirements to follow Guam's procurement law. The audit also confirmed donation amounts and expenditures for the Transition Fund. You can view it on the website. Based on that, Cruz announced that pursuant to his mandate, he's decided to exercise his authority to strictly enforce the provisions of 5 GCA. He also announced and informed the Attorney General-elect, and the governor that he has adopted a legal memorandum finding that inaugural and transition committees should comply with the procurement statute and regulations when procuring for upcoming the inaugural and transition events. The standards of conduct, also known as the ethics in public contracting provisions, will be strictly interpreted and enforced. That means that vendors or prospective vendors who violate the favors to the territory provisions can be deemed, alleged, or adjudged as not responsible in procurement or procurement appeal and decision. So it's a long warning shot, but it's a warning shot. You know what I might still have? There was a big thank you very much ad that was taken out 4 years ago. At the last gubernatorial inauguration celebration. It was a big, massive gala, and there were all kinds of people that were contributing at certain, certain levels.
It was a huge party.
Yeah.
Expensive party.
I'm sure. Well, it's the inauguration, for heaven's sakes. This is it, a celebration of the transfer of power and authorities in our vaunted republic here. Yeah, but the point is that how many of these people that made significant contributions to these inaugurations, how many of them received some kind of special acknowledgement or special treatment beyond the ad in the newspaper, as in, it was very, very nice of you to make that contribution to my inauguration. We'll buy all of our cars from you. Huh? Wait. We need boats. We're going to buy it from this boat guy because this boat guy, and it's emergency procurement. We need this to protect Guam from the Chicoms that are coming in here and lounging around in the northern beaches of Guam. We need boats for that kind of thing. And you know, it's one of those things where everybody seems to talk about it, but nothing seems to be done about it. Dave Duane is saying, good job. BJ, Ed Napati saying happy birthday to your sister Shelley. Thank you very much. Sam Tarag watching the show. So is Rita Edwards and Vince Polino wishing big sister Shelley and Prima Anita and the rest of the Point family celebrating an occasion today. Thank you very much. We all are. And tomorrow I'll be celebrating my jury duty. 10 away from the top of the hour. Quick break. I'll be right back.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,100 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 671-475-4545, Upper Tumon 671-647-5626, or in Dededo 671-633-4473.
Christmas is a very special time, but it can also be a very hard time. For the foster children Harvest House serves, it can be difficult and painful being away from their families and siblings. During Harvest House's Christmas celebration event, we hope that siblings living in different foster homes can join together to share in Christmas joy. We need your help to provide all 600 plus foster children with Christmas gifts. Help us make this a memorable Christmas for each of them. Harvest House will be accepting gifts until December 14th. Contact us at 300-5433 or email harvest.house@hbcguam.net if you have questions or want a suggested gift list. That's 300-5433 or email harvest.house@hbcguam.net.
And if you're looking for a suggestion for me, big ass TV, PS5. What do you say? And can it be a smart TV with all the apps that are already built into it, so I don't have to download this?
We'll never see you again, man.
No, you will. You will through the camera on the TV. I'm excited, Real Joe. All right, so okay.
What's exciting you, man?
I've got a new toothpaste at the house. What?
Is it Japanese?
No.
Okay.
I have Japanese toothpaste, and I just eat it. That's the problem with it. But
that's so good.
I've got a new one. It's like it's a gum rejuvenator, and it's
nice.
And it's it's very, very tasty. It's got obviously a minty flavor, and it stays with you for a long time. I mean, like shower, brush my teeth. And by the time I pull into the office, I've still got that kind of minty tingle in my mouth. Oh, it is great. It's great.
Expensive,
it's great.
Probably. Huh?
I found it at Payless, so it's
okay.
$100, $200 for two. No, actually, I got it. It cost you less, so only $50. Anyway, so the reason why I bring it up is that minty feeling, and you want to get that all the time. And so, a new piece of copy from my friends over at Wendy's. Get a taste of the holidays with Wendy's new Vanilla Peppermint Frosty. The classic vanilla Frosty is now mixed with peppermint syrup, and then they top it with crushed candy cane pieces. For a limited time, obviously, only our Frosty is all dressed up for the holidays and bringing some cool peppermint flavor to the party, just like my expensive toothpaste. Warm and cozy, overrated. When it's dessert time, choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new Vanilla Peppermint Frosty. Yeah, that's the stuff I get excited about. There it is, baby. What is it? He's got a new toothpaste. He's got a new toothpaste. And that minty stuff, right, that they've got over at Wendy's, kind of reminds me of something. One of the last trips that we took to Tokyo. We were in Japan. And we were in a mall, and there was a drugstore in this mall that we went to. And I think it was Young Mason who pointed out they had these minty eye drops.
Oh, God.
Have you ever done that?
I've been blinded. been blinded, man.
Exactly. And so I couldn't resist. So I bought a little bottle of it, and then we the whole family unit kind of goes over into a little corner of the store and starts sprinkling these peppermint minty eye drops into our eyes, and immediately screaming. What am I doing to my eyes? Oh my God! And you just go, when is this going to stop? Please make it stop. This is like the worst wasabi thing I've ever had. It's like it's cold and it's burning, and oh my God, this is not going to go away. And then finally it does. At which time you take it and put some more of the eye drops in there. Very habit-forming deal. And it reminds me of another thing that the Japanese have given us, and I don't know that we've ever really thanked them for it, but I remember years ago, we had a bunch of guys from the Guard that had some duty at Camp Zama or Tori or someplace like that, and they came back with one of these devices about the size of a cell phone, and it had a little thing looked like an antenna coming out of it, and then attached to it were two pads. You know what I'm talking? It's Omron is the name of the company that makes them. Omron. And the idea is you take these pads and you put them one over here on this muscle in your shoulder and one over here in this muscle on your shoulder, and then you turn the thing on, and it will send electric pulses through the wires, through the pads, into your muscles, and it will cause them to contract in time.
Oh yeah.
And there are parts of it. One of them is, I forget what the Japanese words for it, but there's one where it's kind of a rapid little pulse, just to like a massage like that. And then there's one where it feels like a giant is grinding your muscles together. And the idea, and these are soldiers, man. These are trained killers. And so we're sitting there at Chartiers was the name. This is how long ago it was. We were at Chartiers, and the guy tries it out on me, and we'd already seen these guys. It's one guy almost to the point of tears because the thing was just really wrenching into his muscles, and it was only on like 5 or something like that. So I knew I had to do whatever it was that I needed to do to get the thing up to 6 or 7, and I did. And I have been a fan of those things ever since. Jose is broadcasting live from his living room again. It's the Ray Gibson Show. A TENS, maybe it's a TENS machine. Or could be similar to a TENS machine. I don't know.
So you could put that thing anywhere on your body, Ray?
Stop it! Stop it! I know where your brain is headed, and I'm sure somebody has tried. But they're designed to go on certain places on your body. Obviously, your shoulders. For people with muscle aches and things like that. I believe that you can also put them on the large muscles on your legs and your calf. There's only certain muscles, Joe, will react to the electrical stimulation of this device. If you follow what I think I'm following coming out of your mouth here today, but if you get a chance, you can buy them. At the airport. I'm almost positive you can buy them at the airport, and they're not very expensive. And I will tell you, in the time that I've got before I completely wrap up the show and finish the stories here, is they work. They work is the thing. I mean, there's a lot of. I'm not like the most stressed guy in the world, but every once in a while, I'll do something in my back, or I'll sleep funny, or something like that, and just get a crick. And so I put this thing on, and I turn it on, and I bought mine is actually from Japan, which means that I can't read any of the labels on it. So I got my Google translator and translated it, and then I got my little label maker, and I made English words for the Japanese words, so now I know how to control the thing. And I tell you what, once you get to figuring out how these things work, they absolutely work like a charm. And the other thing is there's a timer setting on these things. So you can put them on while you're riding a train or flying an airplane, or maybe even doing a 4-hour radio show. I don't know. They're fun to play with, and if you ever get the opportunity, or if you're looking for a unique gift to give somebody for the holidays like me, that's the one. I will suggest that when you buy them, buy an extra pair of the pads, because after a while the sticky goes away, and it doesn't make the kind of contact that you want against your skin and the muscles, and it just ends up feeling like it's pinching you. I gotta go. 9:59 and change. We're closing in on time for Fox News here. I think they're going to be fawning over the White House and the Marriage Protection Act with Cyndi Lauper again. Maybe a little bit more conversation about that fishing in a jar thing that we're talking about. a little bit earlier. But in the meantime, good luck to you, BJ Cruz. I hope they get the word. And I hope that maybe, since they didn't do it over at the legislature, maybe you will do it over at the OPA and get a report on emergency procurement that has taken place since March 20th of 2020. And who exactly has the government been spending a whole lot of money with on an emergency basis. Get that report. I'm sure it will answer a lot of questions that people have. It's 10, but we're Pika's Best. This is The Point. Here's Fox News.
Is it a blow against hate? I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. President Biden has signed the Respect for Marriage Act, which protects same-sex and interracial marriages federally. The president saying, for most of our nation's history, we denied interracial and same-sex couples these protections.
We failed to treat them with equal dignity and respect. And now, the law requires that interracial marriage and same-sex marriage must be recognized as legal in every state in the nation.
The president saying the law matters to every single American. Thousands of people, including